The fuck am I doing, bro?
It does? What? It didn't even crit. Ogerpon wins game 2 and I remain alive in the tournament. But there's still game 3 and the leads shake out in the same way. The mid game is messy, but it's clear that this team has a hero and her name is Ogerpon. At the crucial, most pivotal moment, my damaged Ogerpon survives Entei Sacred Fire with exactly 1 HP and again doesn't get burnt. And this swing is enough to let me convert into a win. I win round 9 and finish my very, very long day with a record of 7 wins and 2 losses, with 4 rounds left tomorrow still to be played. Probably because I'm so exhausted, I'm able to actually get a good night's sleep. I wake up the next morning feeling refreshed and ready for the day. And it looks like I will need to be in top form right from the get-go, because my opponent in round 10 is none other than the defending world champion, Giovanni Siski. Playing against a world champion always gets me pumped up. I was lucky enough to play against the defending champion Luca last year at EUIC as well. So in a way, playing against Giovanni just feels right. That's how I feel until I look at his team. He's got a variant of the Arabega team. I am playing my worst matchup for the 3rd time this tournament. To be clear, this is not an especially popular team, and the team with far more usage, the archetype known as Balance, which I explicitly prepared for, I have not drawn a single time. The thing about tournaments getting larger by number of entrants is that the variance in your schedule becomes much more dramatic, and I am definitely feeling the effects here, but I know that I can win this matchup, even though it is difficult. Giovanni doesn't have Hisuian Arcanine, instead using Incineroar. This is definitely more favorable for me given my 0 rock resistances, though it doesn't change the fact that the other Pokemon on this team are still a huge nuisance, most notably the Fluttermane. I build my game plan around getting rid of it as soon as I can. Giovanni and I will be playing on stream, and we quickly shake hands, chat a little, and jump into game 1. It's my Ogerpon and Fluttermane against his Landorus and Fluttermane. This Fluttermane doesn't have Protect, so my goal is to get rid of it as soon as I can. The safest move here is to go for Follow Me and Shadow Ball, which would protect my Fluttermane from potential Thunder Wave, but I don't want to lose my Ogerpon to Icy Wind and Sludge Bomb. As the turn begins, Landorus terastallizes, and my Ogerpon goes for Spiky Shield. Icy Wind drops my Fluttermane speed, and Landorus uses the 80% accurate Sandsear Storm, and it connects, dropping Fluttermane to low yellow HP. In retaliation, my Fluttermane goes for a Shadow Ball and secures the KO, giving me the Pokemon lead. Giovanni sends out his own Ogerpon. In theory, I have a slight lead now. I'm up a Pokemon, and my opponent has already used their Terra. That being said, in practice, it's not so easy to maneuver around here. I have Chien-Pao and Incineroar in the back, 2 Pokemon who will faint to an Earth Power and take a lot of damage from Sandsear Storm. With Fluttermane speed already dropped, it's a bit of a sitting duck since I can't protect. Ogerpon can't protect either, having used the move last turn. If I can reposition, I will certainly have an edge, but I don't really see an easy way to get there. I decide to switch Fluttermane out into Incineroar. Giovanni goes for Follow Me, negating my Ivy Cudgel, and Sludge Bomb drops my Ogerpon quite low. I save my Fluttermane, but at the cost of most of my Ogerpon. I feel pressured to make a call, and I decide to double the Landorus. The turn begins, and Landorus protects. Both my attacks do nothing, as Horn Leech knocks out my Ogerpon. What was looking like a favored position is quickly slipping through my grasp, as I fall behind for the first time in the set. I'm behind, so I need to make a call. I send out Chien-Pao. It's time to Terastallize. I turn Incineroar to a flying type, becoming immune to Landorus' ground moves, and I protect Chien-Pao. Ogerpon goes for Follow Me, as Chien-Pao blocks an Earth Power. Now, I'm the only one doing damage this turn, and Flare Blitz, boosted by Sword of Ruin, deals half of Ogerpon's health. That was a good turn, but in order to win this game, I need to make one more call correct. I can go for Icicle Crash to KO Ogerpon and Flare Blitz to KO Landorus, losing Chien-Pao in the process, but giving myself a 2-to-1 Pokemon lead, which will let me win if the last Pokemon is Urshifu or Incineroar. However, Giovanni knows this and can therefore protect Ogerpon and trade Landorus for Chien-Pao, putting us into a 2-against-2 scenario that he's very likely to win. So I'm going to call this out and go for a play that will lose me the game on the spot if Ogerpon doesn't Spiky Shield. I'm going to switch Chien-Pao out. The turn begins, and Chien-Pao retreats to Fluttermane. The next Pokemon to move is Ogerpon, going for Spiky Shield. Landorus KOs Fluttermane as Incineroar hits Landorus with Flare Blitz.
Part of it too is that you're reducing the Sword of Ruin. But actually, he needed it. He needed the Sword of Ruin to be able to pick up the KO.
With that, the game is over. Down 2 against 3, there is no way for me to win. Although I do get rid of Ogerpon, the damage has already been done. I lose game 1 after revealing the final Pokemon to be Urshifu, and once again find myself 1 game away from elimination from the tournament, this time staring down the defending world champion. But I did get some crucial information in that game. Landorus survives my Incineroar's Flare Blitz. That is really important to know as we head into game 2, and I think I see a way that I can use it to benefit me. Game 2 begins with the same leads, Ogerpon and Fluttermane against Landorus and Fluttermane. Turn 1 plays out in the exact same way. I Spiky Shield as Giovanni goes for Icy Wind and Sandsear Storm, and he hits both of his moves. As I pick up a knockout with Shadow Ball, Ogerpon is sent out once again. This time though, my plan is different. Instead of switching out with my Fluttermane, I stay in. My Ogerpon is the first to move, using Horn Leech for a little chip damage. He launches a Sludge Bomb and a Horn Leech right back, knocking out my Ogerpon as my Fluttermane goes for Shadow Ball and gets a critical hit that drops my odds of winning dramatically. See, in the back I have Farigiraf and Incineroar, not Chien-Pao this time. In order to win this game, I need to set Trick Room up. In order to set Trick Room up, I need to survive the turn. In order to survive the turn, I need Ogerpon to be out, not Giovanni's final Pokemon, Urshifu. I send out Incineroar, but the position looks untenable. The issue is that with Urshifu and Landorus on the field together at the same time, I can't use Farigiraf's Fairy Terra, because Landorus will hit it with a Sludge Bomb for a knockout. With my Fluttermane at -1 speed stat, I'm attacking after both of these Pokemon too. I can try and reposition because I have Fake Out active on this turn, but if Giovanni just attacks with both of his Pokemon, I will undoubtedly lose. So I Terastallize to Flying and try and go for Fake Out and Shadow Ball, but Giovanni just protects both of his Pokemon. Had I switched out this turn, I would be in slightly better shape, though it still would have been pretty rough. Now, things are looking really bad. Landorus knocks out Fluttermane as Wicked Blow deals over half to Incineroar. Now, it's my turn to try and get back into the game, with Incineroar using Parting Shot, lowering Landorus' special attack as I bring out Farigiraf, and then Incineroar to replace my knocked out Fluttermane. And I have set myself up to win this game. With Landorus at -1 special attack and Incineroar now a flying type, I can always get Trick Room up. I fake out the Urshifu, crucially breaking the Focus Sash and surviving a Sludge Bomb as Farigiraf twists the dimensions. Now, I just need to get one prediction right, and I will win. Either
Okay,
Urshifu or
but
Landorus
who
can
even
protect.
can
If
Mega
Landorus
Evolve
protects
with
my
my
Urshifu,
thing?
I will
Nothing.
knock it out and activate Throat Spray, giving me a special attack
But
boost
I'll
on Farigiraf
take it,
against
so
the
then
Landorus with a special attack drop.
I don't get it
With Force
again.
Ring in Trick Room, I will most likely win, though it will be close and depend on damage rolls. However, if Urshifu protects itself, I can use Flare Blitz into Landorus. We know that this will leave it alive based on last game. Landorus surviving will allow me to hit it with Hyper Voice, knocking it out and activating my Throat Spray, giving my Farigiraf a special attack boost. Now, with this boost, my Farigiraf will knock out their Urshifu in one hit on the following turn. This seems like a pure 50-50, but I realize something. Giovanni also has the option of attacking with both of his Pokemon on this turn, and if he does that, it is better for me to double attack the Urshifu. Therefore, if Giovanni protects Urshifu, it will cover 2 out of my 3 options
Bishop
rather than 1 out of my
Gen
2.
9.
And with that in mind, I can predict him to protect Urshifu, meaning my best move is to double attack Landorus. With my heart racing, I lock it in.
To pick up the knockout. So, is the Urshifu going to be able to take this game now for Giovanni? Because I don't think the Landorus is in any position to be able to do that now.
I don't think so, and it's not going to protect itself from this either. And this time around, it is a one-hit knockout. So the roll confirmed here, since it barely missed out on the KO in that game number 1, but got it this time around without a critical hit.
Turns out, it was a damage roll, a random chance that Flare Blitz would pick up the one-hit KO onto Landorus. Because Landorus lived with so much HP in game 1, I figured that it was pretty close to guaranteed to survive. But I was wrong. That must have just been close to a minimum roll. There was no way for me to know that this was a roll beforehand. I think I made the right play given the information that I had, but now things are almost guaranteed to be over. My Farigiraf did not get the special attack boost, which means that this Urshifu will survive a Hyper Voice. Unless, of course, Farigiraf gets a critical hit. With my entire tournament on the line, I lock in my move, knowing that I do still have a chance. Farigiraf uses Hyper Voice, and it doesn't crit. Wicked Blow picks up a one-hit KO, and I lose the set, and any hopes that I had of defending my title and winning the tournament. Of my losses this tournament, this one definitely stings the most. Getting bad luck in a difficult matchup against a great player is just a really frustrating way to go out. However, I know that I can't afford to mope, because even though I can't win the tournament, I do still have something to play for. I am pretty far behind on championship points, the currency used to qualify for the World Championships, and if I win all of my remaining rounds today, I'm guaranteed to take a sizable chunk home with me. So as I head to my seat for round 11, I still feel motivated. My opponent is a team that's half a good matchup and half a bad one. The bad one includes the Hisuian Arcanine, Assault Vest Raging Bolt, and Ogerpon Wellspring that gives me so much trouble on the Arabega team. But the other half of this team is Alolan Ninetales, Articuno, and Boldengo, Pokemon who struggle immensely with my Sun mode. In game 1, my opponent leads with Ninetales and Raging Bolt against my Incineroar and Ogerpon. I switch Ogerpon to Torkoal and fake out the Raging Bolt as they fail
they
a Roar Veil
changed
to the
it,
Sun.
like-
I predict them to go for Draco Meteor, so I switch Torkoal out into
Slightly
Fluttermane as they
updated
switch
as a
Ninetales
design,
into
good show.
Arcanine. But they predicted me and went for Electroweb, dropping my Fluttermane's speed. I Parting Shot, bringing Ogerpon back out. I switch Fluttermane out with Incineroar as they Terastallize Arcanine to Ghost, fearing Ivy Cudgel, and they go for Rock Slide and Electroweb. Terastallizing may have saved their Arcanine from Ogerpon, but it now means that they no longer have a Fairy resistance.
What a
I see how I can win.
coinkydink.
They switch Raging Bolt out into Ogerpon as I fake out that slot, and Rock Slide flinches my Ogerpon as I try and Horn Leech, while also knocking out Incineroar. This flinch is unfortunate, but the knockout means that Fluttermane gets to come in. My opponent switches Arcanine to Ninetales as I Follow Me and Dazzling Gleam, doing over half to both of my opponent's Pokemon. My Ogerpon faints to Horn
Now
Leech,
the
putting me down
challenge is how many
3-4 as I force
Pokemon
into
can
Torkoal once
I
again.
take
Ogerpon's Lightning
out
Shields as Helping Hand
using
Dazzling Gleam knocks out
Dracoish?
Ninetales. 2 against 3 as Raging Bolt
That's it,
comes
right?
back out. I Terastallize to Fairy. Torkoal goes
this
for
is
Helping
gonna
Hand as they
be a
launch a
bit
Thunderclap. Fluttermane survives despite
hard
the sun, and Dazzling Gleam
since
knocks
it's
out
not
both.
in
Now
me.
I'm up 2 against 1, but Arcanine has
Never
extreme
mind.
speed. It knocks out
I
my
stand
Fluttermane, but this
corrected.
time I didn't go for Helping
Wide
Hand.
lens is
Eruption KO with
goated.
Arcanine, and I
Not
win
sure
game
why it
1.
doesn't
I'm
show
kinda shocked
up
that they didn't
here,
leave
though.
with Arcanine last game, and so I decide to see if they'll get greedy in game 2. This time I lead with Incineroar and Fluttermane against their Raging Bolt and Alolan Ninetales. This is a phenomenal lead for me. I can switch to
Oh,
Torkoal
it's
to
a
Fairy
bad-
Dazzling Gleam and will threaten a KO on both of their Pokemon. The thing is that my opponent has one clear defensive
Body
play.
s-
They can
Water
Terastallize Raging
Terra,
Bolt to
body
Fairy and
s-
switch to Arcanine to not
I
take
think
too
they
much
need
damage
to
on either
improve
of their
the AI
Pokemon.
to
If
make
they do
this
they can go
remote
for
fake
Electroweb, which will put them in a
challenging,
good position for
because
two, as
what
they'll
the
have
heck
speed
is this
control.
now?
So, given that I'm up a game, I decide to call out this specific play, because it kind of feels like the only thing that they can do. The turn begins and Ninetales switches to Arcanine, and Raging Bolt Terastallizes. But instead of switching out into Torkoal, I fake out Raging Bolt. And instead of locking into a Fairy move, I use Shadow
Sure.
Ball into the Ninetales slot, hitting the
Moxie.
switch to Arcanine for 70% of its HP. My opponent's scariest Pokemon suddenly looks a lot more manageable. Arcanine switches to Ogerpon, who takes Shadow Ball for
Look,
60% of its health. Electroweb drops Fluttermane speed, but I go for a Parting Shot and bring out my Farigiraf, an adjustment from
Oh,
last game
you.
but from me. I switch Fluttermane to Incineroar, who takes an Ivy Cudgel, as Raging Bolt goes for Snarl, and I twist the dimensions. I call that the Ogerpon is going to go for Spiky Shield, and I get it right. This lets me knock off Raging Bolt Assault Vest and go for Hyper Voice, getting my Farigiraf back to neutral special attack. Draco Meteor knocks out Incineroar, which is exactly what I was hoping for. I send out Torkoal, and Terrafire Eruption knocks out all 4 of my opponent's Pokemon in the next 2 turns. I win round 11 with 2 rounds left in the tournament. Round 12 goes up, and I'm facing off against an Iron Crown team that aims to abuse Psychic Terrain to do massive damage, supported by powerful offensive threats like Ogerpon Hearthflame and Urshifu Dark, while also threatening a Tailwind mode. In the first game, my Terra Water Ogerpon Wellspring paired with my Incineroar lets me take an early lead, and I'm able to eventually convert into a win. Game 2 is spooky as we end up fighting inside Trick Room, and I don't bring Torkoal, but in the end, I find a way to win by locking my Fluttermane into Mystical Fire, allowing it to beat both a damaged Urshifu and a healthy Iron Crown. I win round 12, leaving just one more round left in the tournament. Just
Lucky
one
egg.
more round,
That's
and
cool.
it's against a team that I haven't played yet. using Tailwind Tornadus paired with powerful sweepers like Choice Specs Goldango, Regidrago, Ogerpon Hearthflame, and Urshifu Rapid Strike. This is a little bit spooky because I can't match their Tailwind, so I need to aim for Trick Room instead. Tornadus and Urshifu start the battle against my Incineroar and Ogerpon. I predict them to protect both of their Pokemon and switch Incineroar out into my Flutter Mane, giving me huge offensive pressure. Now they can go for Tailwind and Surging Strikes to KO my Flutter Mane, but I suffer Fall Beat and lose on the spot. So I make an aggressive prediction. Urshifu switches out into their own Ogerpon as I go for a Dazzling Gleam. Bleak Windstorm misses my Flutter Mane as I go for Ivy Cudgel, knocking out Tornadus and denying them Tailwind for the rest of the game. Urshifu comes back out and I make another aggressive prediction. I switch Ogerpon out into Incineroar as they protect Urshifu, and I go for another Dazzling Gleam. They Ivy Cudgel, but it's into the Incineroar switch who shrugs it off. Now though, I get a bit too cute. I switch Incineroar back into Ogerpon as they terrestrialize Urshifu to water. Dazzling Gleam drops both of their Pokemon low, but Surging Strikes KOs my Flutter Mane as Ivy Cudgel knocks out my Ogerpon. Suddenly, I'm down 2 against 3, but my last Pokemon is Farigiraf. I fake out Urshifu as they go for Ivy Cudgel, but it doesn't crit, and I get Trick Room up. I knock out Urshifu with Knockoff, sending them into their last Pokemon, Regidrago. This looks bad, except that I save my Terra the entire game. I Terrestrialize Farigiraf to Fairy, knock out Ogerpon with Knockoff, and hit Regidrago with a Hyper Voice as they go for a Dragon Energy that doesn't damage my Giraffe. Left with only Regidrago against a Fairy type, boosted Farigiraf inside of Trick Room, my opponent forfeits and I win game 1. Importantly, I didn't bring Torkoal that game, and so I have an idea. Game 2 begins my Incineroar and Farigiraf against their Tornadus and Urshifu. This Tornadus has Radiant, which is why I didn't bring Torkoal game 1, so my number 1 priority has to be to get rid of it. Urshifu Terrestrializes to water, but I hit it with Fake Out as Tornadus goes for Bleak Windstorm and Farigiraf sets up Trick Room. Now I have a choice. If I double Urshifu, I will get the KO, but with Torkoal in the back, I double Tornadus. Hyper Voice and Flare Blitz knocks it out, as Urshifu retaliates with the Surging Strikes, but knocks out my Farigiraf. I send out Torkoal as my opponent sends out their Ogerpon. I Terrestrialize Torkoal to fire, and even though they Aqua Jet, Eruption knocks out Urshifu and leaves Ogerpon in range of Incineroar. My opponent sends out their final Pokemon, Choice Specs Goldango.
Getting the Cinderace is really clutch. I don't even care about the gradient. It's nice that
39. If I placed a little higher inside of the top 32, I would have won prize money and more championship points, but 39th at an international still gives nearly 20% of the points that I estimate I need to qualify for Worlds this year. More than just the result, I consider this tournament to be a success. There's a lot that I'm proud of from this run. Not letting myself get discouraged after my losses, doing my best despite being severely HP accepting that my team wasn't going to be perfect, but was still the best content I had, and playing well despite my opponent's teams not being anything like what I expected are all things that I've struggled to do well in the past, and doing them well here feels like a step towards becoming an even better player. Arguably more important than anything else, I had fun playing Pokemon. My last few events have been very stressful for a multitude of reasons, and was a big part of the reason why I took a 4-month break this fall and winter. I'd like to say thanks to the Pokemon Company International for taking event security seriously, as well as to the fans who I saw at UIC who were especially considerate. I'm hopeful I'll be able to continue competing safely moving forward. Last thing for me, if you want to get the notebook I used this tournament for yourself, head to vgcnotebook.com. It is only available for a limited time right now. We're hoping to make it evergreen, but it really will depend on how well it performs. If you like this video and you want some more tournament action, I strongly recommend checking out last year's UIC video. Honestly, even if you've already seen it, it goes pretty hard as a rewatch. Thanks again for all the support, and I will see you in Pokemon Champions.
I should have just taken the fucking shit. Oh well. Escavalier.
On that day, you were the best in the world at doing a single thing, and it's powerful, so you're filled with this rush and this pride and this kind of almighty strength. But it's also very, as high as it is, it's also very grounding.
Daniel Ricciardo knows a lot about what that moment feels like. He won 8 Formula One races out of more than 250 starts, which tells you something about how hard it is to get to the top of that podium in Formula One. This is Drive. I'm Jim Farley. In thinking back about my talk with Daniel, what really stayed with me wasn't his wins, it was how honest he was about his losses. And about that moment you realize something inside of you has shifted, that it might be time just to move on. Well, we talk about Formula One, we talk about ego, retirement, and that 3-letter word that has been his driving force, fun. So, first kind of topic I'd like to talk about is the Shoei, because it was so... Now, the reason why I think it's cool, but everyone would be different, is that my hero, racing hero, was Stan Gurney growing up. And Dan was the first person to take champagne and spray people in the 1966 Le Mans when we won.
Yep.
He took them
Is that
away.
Where they had to...
Yes, his bubble.
Yes.
He was too tall for the car.
Yep.
And Phil Remington took a hammer and dolly and made it big enough for
so
the
cool.
Gurney bubble. But after he won that race, they gave them the Magnum of Moet, and he wasn't sure what to do, but he was so happy. He shook it up and sprayed, and the French were mortified. And so when I saw you do the Shoei, which were mortified. And so when I saw you do the shoey, I felt like it was the first time since Dan did that with the champagne bottle that you had been like the innovator to change the celebration in a totally different way. And so tell us about like what, like, was that just instantaneous, or because it was so unexpected, and now, you know, it's one of your signatures, many signatures. Tell us about how to come to be, and what was it like the first time?
Yeah, it was, I believe when I did it, a friend of mine kind of did some history on it, and I think it was initially like a German thing or something. I can't remember the exact shoey history, let's say, but it was, you know, a few of my friends in Australia were doing it. There was a group of guys called themselves the Mad Hueys, and they would just go on surf trips around the world and just drink out of their shoe. And
I see.
Just, it was my way of you know, I'd lived away from Australia for a long time, but it was my way of showing, I guess, Australia, that I'm still Australian.
No way. That's interesting.
So it was definitely some of that.
Okay.
And then there was also, you know, I always tried, I say in a way quite desperately, to remain myself in a sport that was, these days it's changed, but I think definitely 10 years ago it was still a little bit buttoned up, and I wanted to try and, I say like relax the shoulders of the sport a little bit. And so I thought the shoey was, I was like, if the sport hate it, at least my Aussie friends will give me some respect. But then I did it, and I really didn't know how it was going to go down. And I was like, it'll be a one and done thing.
Were you surprised at the reaction?
Oh yeah, because a few months later, I remember I was at Singapore and I got a podium. And after I did the first one, I was like, okay, maybe this is something I just save for when I win, you know, a really big occasion, not just maybe a podium. And I chose not to do it on the podium. And the crowd, I heard some like shoey chants, and then there was some boos when I didn't do it. I was like, okay, they really want this. So I was just like, okay, all the podiums I get now, I just have to do it.
Amazing.
And getting the other drivers to drink out of your shoe.
That's cool.
It's kind of like, especially if that other driver isn't your best friend, it was a good way to like, they can't say no, like otherwise they're going to get booed. So you put them in a pretty compromising situation.
That's interesting. So let's talk about racing, but maybe through a different lens, which is kind of the human side. Being a professional athlete, having such a serious career, all the pressure coming up.
In clutch out of fucking nowhere, bro. That's so funny.
Racing. What is the part of racing that you particularly connect with?
So I still have, I would say I'm very thankful for whoever gave me a photographic memory. So I still remember the first time I drove a go-kart, you know, at the indoor rental kart place. I remember I wanted to go in Perth. Yeah. And I wanted to go sooner, but I didn't meet the
It's just Max Verstappen without the trauma.
Been 8. I wanted to go at 7, but I didn't meet the
You
minimum
remember
height.
that when you were 8 years old?
Oh,
I don't remember anything when I was 8.
I still can. Now I'm picturing driving down the straight.
Really?
And just thinking, like the first word that comes to mind is freedom. Like the feeling of having control of something at such a young age.
Yes.
And not being able to be touched, I guess.
Yes.
That was like the first thing I relate to with racing or driving was freedom. And, you know, racing was the same. And even as it got, you know, more serious and up into Formula One, as soon as I would strap into the car, from the outside, everyone probably thinks, oh, this is like the hardest time for them during the weekend because this is now business and this is where they actually have to really switch on and perform. But for me, it was the easiest time because it was my time and I could just be, you know, there's not only the team itself, but then you've got the crowd, the fans, everything. The paddock is so full of distractions I guess, that when I would strap in, put the helmet on, I was like, okay, I can finally be free.
Was there a ritual you had where you switched your mind onto that? Was it closing? A lot of people visualize closing a visor. I don't really buy that. Was there a moment, like when you pull away and the noise goes away, other than the car? Was there a moment when you go, now it's my time?
Yeah, I think it was really putting the helmet on. I would, you know, I would try to, I would start with putting music on, you know. noise.
Yes.
So maybe walking into the garage
Yes.
just to already start kind of drowning out some of the noise.
Yep.
So definitely the headphones was, let's say, phase one. But then phase two, I think, because I'd still be maybe laughing or joking around a bit. But then putting the helmet on, that was also very symbolic of not only, okay, it's go time, but the helmet is...
No, I don't have any, but show me. Exactly.
A massive bit of safety equipment. So it was also a reminder that what I'm about to do, even though I've done it for so long now that sometimes you can forget, it is dangerous and it's time to, switch into that gear and let's say stop messing around.
Did you ever want to do anything else? Is there a different version of Daniel Ricciardo that we've never met?
Definitely.
That maybe you haven't even met?
So I think what would surprise a lot of people is I wasn't, I loved racing since I was a kid. I remember watching racing when I was 4 years old on TV, and I always loved it. But I never really thought or believed that I would make it a career, and I say that because going through school, I was in my 2 last years of school and I was doing work experience at places, and I was just like, what do I do? I like racing, but I wasn't dominating the local scene or anything. So in my head, I was like, okay, if I'm not even dominating here, how am I going to go and dominate the world? So I was scrambling and I wasn't really sure, and I didn't have much self-belief. And I played tennis and I played other sports, and I just loved also being a kid and riding dirt bikes with friends. And I think, it was like the last year of school, and it was, okay, I need to really grow up and make a decision what I want to do with my life. And I knew there wasn't really anything I was passionate about that I was studying at school. And I loved racing, but I didn't really have much belief in myself. But I kind of just made that thing. And obviously with the help of, Dad maybe encouraging me a little bit, was, well, it's now or never. Let's just try. We can afford to give it a go and see what comes of it.
That was a fork in the road.
Yeah. I know. I was 17, and 4 years later I was in F1, but there was no way I thought that was going to happen. See what comes of it.
That was a fork in the road.
Yeah. I know. I was 17, and 4 years later I was in F1, but there was no way I thought that was going to happen.
That's amazing.
I just didn't. And I just like being with my friends. Like, I like just being a kid. So the whole journey that I ended up taking was, I obviously embraced it and enjoyed it in the end, but it just wasn't what I thought it would be. And I also loved home. I loved Perth. The thought of being on a plane every few days was not the life I was picturing.
Yeah. Is there something about racing that people really can't understand? Formula One racing. Like, for me, I race on the weekend just as an amateur, and I think most people don't realize kind of how disappointing it is. Like, pretty much 90% of my racing is like something breaks, or I make a mistake, or I get in a situation where I just make a bad decision at the wrong time and crash or whatever, and then the weekend's over and it's a lot of money, and and so I'm always surprised at how few people realize how much, literally 90% of my time racing ends in disappointment. Like, really, like, wow. But there are a lot of other great things. How about for you as a Formula One pilot? Like, that is a completely different thing than most people could even understand. Like, even Olympics or being an FL champion. Very few people on the planet would have any idea even to compete in Formula One, let alone winning a race or races.
I guess I'm always a little bit hesitant to talk about the disappointments or the lows or the tough days, because people see a lot of the good, and it gives you a lot as well. So I don't want to dismiss that, but it's kind of like what goes up must come down, and there are a lot of days that hurt. There's a lot of days where you're frustrated and there's so much that's out of your control, and of course I'll take accountability when I can, but there are days that just just hurt and suck.
Yep.
I was, as you mentioned, like one of the lucky ones. I was able to win races in Formula One. I won 8 races, but I entered over 250.
Yep.
So I don't know what that works out in percentage, but it's a pretty low percentage of success rate. You know, I compare it to a team sport, for example. Maybe their record is 50%. Probably better, a lot of teams. But so the good days, or the real good days, are far and few between. But there's something about it that just keeps bringing you back.
Of
and
course.
I think it makes the highs higher because you don't win every day. You appreciate it when you do. But there was days, where I was very uninterested. And, you know, I can tell you numerous occasions where I was, I'm done. Like, I don't want to do
especially
this.
with your disposition, and you're such a wonderful person. We all watched you as fans, and you know that I think it would be hard to see that, you know.
I'm actually
but
getting cooked here.
underneath it all. There's that. Got it.
Yeah, and you.
Oh wow!
That's
okay.
you know, it's
Thank you.
that's a thing. You try and hide a little bit of it. Well, you definitely hide a lot of it. I mean,
And there is
I
watching.
tried to give as much as I could, and if I felt
What is
pain, I
up with
tried
this guy with his
to
steel
share some
pipes?
of that because we are people and we're normal. But you do try and hide a bit of it because, again, your competitors, you know, if they see you in a vulnerable position, then that's a weakness. And
Interesting. Yeah.
So there are
that's
things you
super
naturally just
interesting.
guard.
Yep.
Even if it's forget what the people think of you.
Yes.
It's how you're actually going to go against the guy tomorrow or next week. So that's like the let's say some of the challenges. But then I think the feeling of driving, it's, you know, as a kid I got frustrated. You know, when I was racing go-karts at school, even when I moved to Europe. No one really thought I was as cool as I thought I was, you know, because they couldn't relate. And they're like, well, I drive to school, or I drive this, or like, who cares? You drive a little bit faster, no big deal. But it is a crazy feeling, and that's why we love it. It's the best way to describe it. I don't know. How would you describe it? Like a roller coaster, you get kind of thrown around. I don't know.
It's more violent, but you're doing the controlling, so it's kind of like for me, the way I like to describe it to people I love is you're integrated into a machine, and you're controlling it to the maximum.
G-Max in the race, nice.
It's kind of like
and they animated
your
it
clothes. You don't
wow.
think about it as a car. You think about it as an extension of your body. And so what the satisfaction is that if you can control it in such an organic way that you don't really think about it. You don't think about doing this or doing that. It's just you're controlling it perfectly as you intend. And then, you know, your errors are in your mind. It's not in your physical being.
Yeah.
To me, that's a level, most people don't ever feel that about it, having that kind of relationship with a device.
Yeah.
You can't think about it. That's how I think about it.
No,
it's a little weird, but
no, it's I think I did it for so many years, and you're in it, and I've never actually thought about how you have and how you articulated it, but it's like that. And the good days, you know, the days that I won or had a good result, it just happens.
Yeah, and
you
it
know,
feels a little more effortless than you would imagine when you're trying to go fast. And so few of us in life, billions of people on the planet, so few of us could say that we are the best of the world in one moment at one thing. It's very rare. There's just a few people. What does it feel like?
I won't lie, it feels powerful. You know, it's it's a weird thing. It's a weird power to have. It's like a superpower for that moment in time. As you said, on that day, you were the best in the world at doing a single thing. And it's powerful, so you're filled with this rush and this pride and this kind of almighty strength. But it's also very, I think at the same time, it's nearly, as
keeping
high as it is,
Cinderella's.
it's also very grounding. And
Ice and
I
psychic
always felt
type,
maybe once the
Nora.
adrenaline ran down, or I was on the podium and I could actually just take a beat,
Nah, I'll keep you.
You're very
No,
like, you
but
become very
Ice is going to
reflective
be super
and
clutch,
very-
actually.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
appreciative of
I see.
wow, like all the go-karting days. And,
Yeah.
and you really reflect on the bad days.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, the days
I'm
that
with you, I
Dad
know.
was yelling at me
Yes.
and kicking my
Yes.
butt, and all the days
Take
where
the
you
ice
thought
tape,
you were
ice
maybe
cyclic
going to
tape, that's
not race
perfectly
again or just be over it. Be like,
Equivalently
you know, okay, we
convenient.
stayed on it, and
against
now we're here. And
I'm a boss.
wow, so it's like, you know, my first win, when I got asked, how did it feel crossing the line? It was relief. You know, that's because you
course.
you put so much into
Yes,
it, and
yes.
you believe you can, but until
Yes.
you do, you're like,
Yeah.
can I?
Yes.
So even before the joy kicks in,
Yes.
it's just relief. Like
I totally
we did
know
it.
exactly what
We
you're
did it.
saying. Yes. I saw a great video of Johnny Rutherford, who in our country for a period of time was the IndyCar driver. And he was asked once, how did you know when it was the right time to retire? And his answer was fascinating for me. It's something I think about almost daily in my job. When is it the right time to give someone else the chance to lead forward? And that's very situational. He said he had a terrible accident in Indy, and the reporter brought it up in that context. Did you retire because of this accident? He was upside down, methanol was pouring over his body. He had to take a big breath quickly because if there was a fire, the biggest risk for him was inhaling the fire. And that would burn his lungs, and he saw many of his competitors do that. Yeah. So he had taught himself, as soon as you go upside down, you feel the fuel on you. He wasn't scared of the fire. He had to hold his breath. And so the interviewer was like, was that the moment? He goes, actually, no. I wasn't scared of that. I retired because I came in the garage a couple times, and on reflection, I didn't ask the guys to make changes. And I always made changes. And he said, then I knew that something had changed where I didn't want it the same level, and I was phoning it in. Mm-hmm. And he said, I went right to Roger Penske in the middle of the season and said, I'm going to retire now. And Roger said, no, Indy's coming around the corner. He said, you've won it more than anyone. He said, nope, I'm retiring right now. And he said, because of the accident? He said, no, I'm not scared. It's because I know something left, something's gone, and I can't get it back. And as a professional, for me, that was one of the most insightful, helpful suggestions. And I wanted to ask you about your retirement at a personal level. How did it work for you? What gave you the idea this was the right time?
Yeah, I think that's extremely brave to also call it then and there, mm-hmm. Because also everyone will keep expecting you to do it, and there'll always be someone who still believes in you that says you can.
Course,
and
yes.
It's so to look, I definitely had to try and understand a lot the last 12 months about the career coming to an end, and it's like timing, because you're not really going to get it back. Once it's gone, it's gone mm-hmm. for the most part. And so 2022, I struggled a lot my second year at McLaren. Mm-hmm. They let me go. So then 2023, I started without a seat, and that was like I was kind of, is this maybe it? Like, do mm-hmm. I just call it now? But I knew there was still some burning desire in me.
No, we all wanted you to race. We're all Daniel Ricciardo fans. Like who didn't want you to race again and win again?
And that's
everyone. All of us wanted that happen.
I appreciate it, and that's where I really needed to try and look at myself in the mirror. And it was like, okay, forget what the people say and what they want. It's what do you want? And
was that pretty much a personal thing?
Yeah, I tried to make it as obviously personal as possible. Look, there's still obviously opinions, even if it's your parents or whatever.
Yep. But ultimately,
I did my best to make sure that there was still that fire inside my gut. But then, so I got back into the seat halfway through the season. I got to drive. second race in or third race in, I broke my hand, and it was such a nothing accident, but I missed however many races. I think I was out for 10 weeks or something. So then that happened, and I was like, well, I've never really hurt myself racing all these years, and I have a silly crash, and I was like, okay, is this now a bit of a sign? Like, should I just quit while I'm ahead nearly and whatever? And I was like, no, there's still unfinished business, you know. And I pushed through it, and look, I lasted another year in F1, and then got ultimately got let go. That was the reality at the time. But I think once that happened, you know, I'd had let's say, been let go twice in the last, 2 years. And I was like, look, it had also taken a lot out of me. You know, I'd put a lot of my soul into it. Yes. And I did feel pretty exhausted by it. In reflection, I was grateful that they made the decision for me.
Because, interesting. Yes.
You know, I think it would have been hard to be like, I'm done, because not so much for me. I think I knew I was probably done, because I knew that it was harder for me to perform at the level I could. Whatever happens, you know, like, okay, Alonso, these guys are still, they're in their 40s in F1 competing very highly. For whatever reason, I lost a little bit of something, and it's okay to admit it. It's fine.
And what advice would you give for the rest of us who at some point in our life, either someone's going to tap us on the shoulder or we have to do it ourselves? Upon reflection, all these years, what advice would you give the rest of us about that moment?
It's easier said than done, but remove any fairy tales, ultimately, like, remove your ego as much as possible. And look, there's people that love you and will still tell you that you're great and you can do it. But as much as you love them as well, you need to just close the door and make that decision on your own and be really honest with yourself. Look, if I would have got to the end of last year, I think I would have still had a lot of these thoughts and had the conversation with myself, because I knew it was becoming hard for me, and I had to dig really deep to pull out a result that I was proud of. But yeah, look, you always want to believe everyone's looking out for you.
This is clean too.
And they probably still are, but they don't know what it's like to be you and in your situation. So I would just stress, like, give yourself enough alone time to really, you'll get the answer. If you find time, you'll get it, you know. And last year, you know, so my retirement year, I gave myself a lot of time to just reflect on my career, to be at peace with it. And if I was constantly surrounded by people, I never would have had that. So yeah, go for a long old hike.
Daniel, I want to say, just as the CEO of Ford, you're one of the most engaging, genuine, and wonderful people in the racing business. You have made all of our lives better because you are here. And I ask everyone the same question at the end of the podcast, which is, what advice would you give me as the CEO of Ford?
Look, I learned a lot over the years, but I think that I would always go back to the basics and, like, ultimately, like, what got me here? Why do I do it? Why did I do it for so long? And it's I go back to a 3-letter word: fun.
Yeah.
And it's
kind of an old-fashioned concept, right?
Yeah. Sometimes we do overcomplicate things, and we get away from that. And I think if you're still waking up smiling and excited to go to work, and when you're at work, you're still finding joy in it, then keep doing it.
Fun isn't like a smiley thing, but it can be for most people. For me, so I love that advice, because maybe the other side of that is if you're not having fun, you know, maybe that's a sign. And also, if you are enjoying your job but you're not making it fun for others, that's also really good advice, which can be the case, because the one side I love Ford and serving our employees. On the other side, I kind of take it so seriously that I very rarely give myself permission to have fun. And frankly, the danger in that, which is great about your advice, is if you do it long enough, you actually forget how to do it. And I know you have felt that in the paddock, because your center of gravity is so clear in your life, but you have to turn it off sometimes, because you have to be that stone cold killer. And I struggle with that. I really do. And I think that's really wonderful and difficult advice to take.
Know.
And I appreciate it, because it resonates with me, frankly.
Yeah. Look, racing, I learned that, you know, I would only allow myself to have fun if I had a good result.
Yes.
And that's living in that black and white is, you know, in hindsight, I don't think was a healthy way to do it and go about
Fuck's
it.
sake.
If I would go and even have dinner with my family or friends after a race that I didn't perform well in, I would feel like, I don't deserve to be eating a nice meal tonight, for example. And I think, we are very, harsh on ourselves. And I think they're, just to have some more consistency and balance. And it doesn't matter if you had the best day or the worst, you should still give yourself the permission to have fun on your day off, or however that looks.
And I kind of think driving off-road is kind of, for me, a lot of normal folks who love cars. Driving off-road is kind of getting back to that freedom thing. It's like being on our bikes for the first time. Your parents aren't with you. You're with your mates, and you're probably doing something you shouldn't be. Driving off-road is a little bit of that, right? It's a little bit of like, I'm going to go wherever the hell I want to go.
Yeah, discovery.
And I think that's where the Raptor kind of gets it right about our industry. And, you know, I love the GTDs. I love all the on-road performance, but there's something about off-road that's very unfiltered. And something about driving a vehicle in an off-road environment that kind of rediscovers the simplicity of freedom. And I think you are absolutely the perfect person. If there's one person on literally the planet, of all the billions of people on the planet, that could connect kind of our no boring cars philosophy to, you know, off-road for the right reasons, it's you. Because you're going to, you know, explain that to people, what it's like. And as a professional, you know, Formula One champion, you'll be able to explain it with credibility. And so I'm really...
And these guys would have been.
Armin, mate, admin here. Are you free to do some social filming now?
A little bit busy at the moment.
Why, what are you up to?
I'm literally in the middle of Rebel Motor Jam.
Oh, right, okay.
Maybe later a bit?
Later's fine. Enjoy, mate. Armin, mate,
BMW, the Corvette, side by side.
Katie, so as a Dragon Master, you have a tremendous amount of power over how we edit and move through time, but that can't necessarily be abused
Hold
to
on.
just make Jasmine's character
I can't listen to you right now because I'm doing something.
It's not really fair to Jasmine's portrayal of her character for her to not have noticed what happened to her wife and stepchildren.
Yeah, I gotta have some resolution or know how to feel about my
We could do a whole spin-off where, like, we go to Lisbon and they can.
I think there's unresolved stakes now. This could be something that could.
whoa. Hold on now. Y'all think y'all can lowball TJ? What, you scared? Oh, there's a dangerous criminal in town. Who's gonna do something about it? And he's got a gun. He's got 2 guns. And I hate it here.
The silence at the top can be stifling. A lonely place.
So lonely aboard. What say we settle this with a match?
What? Gentlemen, please. Oh no.
On the floor after 1 shot of tequila? You're done, son.
Flip it up,
Say, don't forget to burp them before you put them down. Oh, now you looking at me like you want to play too, little girl.
Indeed, monsieur. TJ, you can go on, no? Surely you can continue.
So, yeah, now I'm ready to go.
I was having fun. To our lovely friends, we now must bid you adieu.
Sophia, she a keeper. Whoa. Hold on now. Y'all think y'all can lowball TJ?
Really up to them? Oh, I've seen this whole show. No wonder I thought I saw it. It's a good show, for sure. This is a pretty good show.
Oh, there's a dangerous criminal in town. Who's gonna do something about it? And he's got a gun. He's got 2 guns. And I hate it here.
The silence at the top can be stifling. A lonely place.
So lonely aboard. What say we settle this with a match?
What? Gentlemen, please. Oh no.
On the floor after 1 shot of tequila.
That's the Porsche.
Oh. Do you know that it says Mr. Questions? Or is that a surprise for you?
Does this say Mr. Questions?
Yes, it does. And you know why you have it? Because you ask a lot of questions.
How dare you?
Katie.
DRS is completely eliminated for 2026, replaced by active aerodynamics with moving wings for overtaking.
Just waiting to see if they all go off in a big cloud of dust.
Oh.
I don't think they will.
Move
look
from
at
the
this
Corvette.
move.
Wow.
Wow, Oliver Gavin. There's a big set right there.
There you
wow. Yardley Hastings' finest.
91 car. It's in the hands of Jimmy Bruni. He's looking to make progress as well.
He's not afraid to get racy either.
Oh no.
Ford using all the road. This is an absolutely fantastic battle. The Porsche now. The Porsche having a look on the outside.
We barely made it out alive of the gym leader, because what the fuck was that?
Corvette are looking very strong and racy. Aren't they just? 63.
That's the Porsche. Just waiting to see if they all go off in a big cloud of dust. I don't think they will.
Move
look
from
at
the
this
Corvette.
move.
Wow.
Wow, Oliver Gavin. There's a big set right there.
There you
wow. Yardley Hastings' finest.
91 car. It's in the hands of...
You can use that wood to make a chest. Oh, good. Then I can store all this wood I'll need later for chest making. Okay, you're not gonna have fun if you analyze everything.
This is what they'd rather do?
It's all in their transcript.
Treats us like Ghostbusters. So Ghostbusters aren't cool now? I don't recall signing that bill. Control freak orders drone strikes to cope with...
Insecurity.
Should we drone strike them? That would prove him right.
And blow him up.
Give me the phone.
Is this game popular with autistic people? Why would you say something like that? Because I'm starting to love it. Failure to answer is a felony offense? Play it cool. As far as he knows, we're still... Insecurity.
Should we drone strike them? That would prove him right. And blow him up. Give me the phone.
Is this game popular? with autistic people. Why would you say something like that? Because I'm starting to love it. Failure to answer is a felony offense? Play it cool. As far as he knows, we're still in the tunnels.
When should we reveal we can see them? We're holding all the cards right now. We don't show any before the time is right.
Awesome. Yellow.
Hi guys, U.S. President calling. How's it going?
Oh, hey. Just hard at work on this Sextunnel Gagu. I think it's kind of our new arch nemesis. It might take a while. What do you think, Morty, a month? Fingers crossed a month, yeah.
You lying dicks! I see your asses playing Minecraft. I got you on satellite. That's right. What do you have to say for yourselves?
Okay, obviously this looks bad, Mr. President. I mean, what doesn't look bad through an illegal spy satellite?
Don't high road me. The two of you break 1,000 federal laws a day.
Oh, really? That's pretty cool.
And yes, you save the world now and then. And America returns that favor by not holding the two of you accountable to its laws.
Oh, God, we didn't know you thought that way.
Well, it's nobody's fault. We never had the talk, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, the way we see it, when we show up, that's the favor. To you. Especially, when it turns out you wanted someone to come over just because you found an X-Files monster in your basement. As for the reason you've never, arrested us, we assumed you just knew that it was impossible. If you tried. It wouldn't go well.
Wouldn't go well? Can you elaborate?
I think one of your 1,000 laws says, no, I can't elaborate. Just trust me, none of us want to go there. Which we'll never have to. By the way, we'll keep on saving the Earth. We're happy to do that. Yeah, but not because it contains America. Because moving to a new version of Earth is a bitch and a half. But feel free to call us, as friends. Yeah, if you ever want to take a selfie. So, are we cool?
Yes. Thank you, gentlemen.
I told you, man. I'm impressed, Morty. That went really well.
Everybody get a hold of yourselves.
Sir, what is our new Rick and Morty policy?
Our policy is we never needed them and never will again. Today, we celebrate our independence from Rick and Morty. Everyone out.
You can use that wood to make a chest. Oh, good. Then I can store all this wood I'll need later for chest making. Okay, you're not gonna have fun if you analyze everything.
This is what they'd rather do?
It's all in their transcript.
Treats us like Ghostbusters. So Ghostbusters aren't cool now? I don't recall signing that bill. Control freak orders drone strikes to cope with...
Insecurity.
Should we drone strike them?
Oh, beautiful.
Right.
And blow him up.
Give me the phone.
Is this game popular with autistic people? Why would you say something like that? Because I'm starting to love it. Failure to answer is a felony offense? Play it cool. As far as he knows, we're still in the tunnels.
When should we reveal we can see them?
We're holding all the cards right now. We don't show any before the time is right.
Awesome.
Yellow.
Hi guys, U.S. President calling. How's it going?
Hey, just hard at work on this Sextunnel Gagu. I think it's kind of our new arch nemesis. It might take a while.
In the
what
shiny
do you think, a month?
color
Fingers crossed
palette.
a month, yeah.
You lying dicks! I see your asses playing Minecraft.
I'll
I got you on
defend me.
satellite.
I can do
That's
this.
right. What do you have to say for yourselves?
Okay, obviously this looks bad, Mr. President. I mean, what doesn't look bad through an illegal spy satellite?
Don't high road me. The two of you break 1,000 federal laws a day.
Oh, really? That's pretty cool.
And yes, you save the world now and then. And America returns that favor by not holding the two of you accountable to its laws.
Oh, God, we didn't know you thought that way.
Well, it's nobody's fault. We never had the talk, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, the way we see it, when we show up, that's the favor. To you. Especially, when it turns out you wanted someone to come over just because you found an X-Files monster in your basement. As for the reason you've never, arrested us, we assumed you just knew that it was impossible. If you tried. It wouldn't go well.
Wouldn't go well? Can you elaborate?
I think one of your 1,000 laws says, no, I can't elaborate. Just trust me, none of us want to go there. Which we'll never have to. By the way, we'll keep on saving the Earth. We're happy to do that. Yeah, but not because it
I'm gonna abuse the AI if it's gonna be a dumbass about it.
But
I
feel free to
can't
call
really
us,
help that.
as friends. Yeah, if you ever want to take a selfie. So, are we cool?
He actually killed a man. It's coincidental because we
I'm
killed
impressed, Morty. That went
last time too with Crocodile.
Everybody get a hold of yourselves.
Come on, Shelley, tell me your news.
This is on you. Amy and I are living together in sin like a couple of New Yorkers. Now, while you scold us, I'm going to get a knife and a fork. Joe may be sloppy, but Sheldon's not.
Well, thank you for letting me know, and I, for one, am thrilled.
What? Where's the judgment? Where's the fire and brimstone? Where's the part where you tell us we're going to hell? And I say, have you seen the size of the bugs outside? We're already there.
Obviously, I would prefer if you weren't living out of wedlock, but given your special circumstances, I'm very happy for you.
And what special circumstances are those?
Shelley, how do I put this? By your 3rd birthday, you had memorized over 1,000 different kinds of trains. And I never imagined a woman getting aboard any of them. Come on, Shelley, tell me your news.
This is on you. Amy and I are living together in sin like a couple of New Yorkers. Now, while you scold us, I'm going to get a knife and a fork. Joe may be sloppy, but Sheldon's not.
Well, thank you for letting me know, and I, for one, am thrilled.
What?
Oh?
Where's the judgment?
The
Where's the fire and brimstone? Where's the part where you tell us we're going to hell? And I say, have you seen the size of the bugs outside? We're already there.
Obviously, I would prefer if you weren't living out of wedlock, but given your special circumstances, I'm very happy for you.
And what special circumstances are those?
Shelley, how do I put this? By your 3rd birthday, you had memorized over 1,000 different kinds of trains. And I never imagined a woman getting aboard.
Wait, we need help. She's been wounded.
What's wrong with her? I can't take anymore.
Okay, listen, O'Brien. If we don't get her to a hospital, she's going to die.
There are no more hospitals.
Oh, come on, no more hospitals. You got doctors, you got triage, you got a MASH unit.
Oh, look, I'm just a grad student, okay? I got volunteers for this. I'm not even supposed to be out here, okay? Okay. Shit. I've only got room for 2 of you, okay? 2.
You got room for 2 of
We're overweight, okay? I can only take 2 of you, 2.
Okay, Boozer, let's go. We gotta get on that guy. We gotta get on that ship.
I heard what he said. There's only room for 2 on that chopper.
95 is good enough. But you're not even on it. Okay.
Boozer is never gonna make it without me.
I swear I gave another one of you guys. Okay, I give. Okay.
No.
Wait, we need help. She's been wounded.
What's wrong with her? I can't take anymore.
Okay, listen, O'Brien. If we don't get her to a hospital, she's going to die.
There are no more hospitals.
85, 25,
doctors, you got triage,
95.
unit.
Oh, look, I'm just a grad student, okay? I got volunteers for this. I'm not even supposed to be out here, okay?
95, I'll take this.
Okay.
95, 95 on you.
I've only got room for 2 of you, okay? 2.
You got room for 2
We're overweight, okay? I can only take 2 of you, 2.
85 here.
Okay, Boozer, let's go. We gotta get on that guy. We gotta get on that ship.
I heard what he said. There's only room for 2 on that chopper. Go. Go with her. I'll be okay.
Boozer is never gonna make it without me. I want this back.
You coming? No.
Wait, we need help. She's been wounded.
What's wrong with her? I can't take anymore.
Okay, listen, O'Brien. If we don't get her to a hospital, she's going to die.
There are no more hospitals.
Oh, come on, no more hospitals. You got doctors, you got triage, you got a MASH unit.
Oh, look, I'm just a grad student, okay? I got volunteers for this. I'm not even supposed to be out here, okay? Okay. Shit. I've only got room for 2 of you, okay? 2.
You got room for 2
We're overweight, okay? I can only take 2 of you, 2.
Okay, Boozer, let's go. We gotta get on that guy. We gotta get on that ship.
I heard what he said. There's only room for 2 on that chopper. Go. Go with her. I'll be okay.
Boozer is never gonna make it without me. I want this back.
You coming? No.
Wait, we need help. She's been wounded.
What's wrong with her? I can't take anymore.
Okay, listen, O'Brien. If we don't get her to a hospital, she's going to die.
There are no more hospitals.
Oh, come on, no more hospitals. You got doctors, you got triage, you got a MASH unit.
Oh, look, I'm just a grad student, okay? I got volunteers for this. I'm not even supposed to be out here, okay?
Okay, that's good. Let me be the one to show you some of those new age ones.
I've only got room for 2 of you, okay? 2.
You got room for 2.
We're overweight.
You must be Megumin's little sister.
Hi, Komiko. Hey,
I'm gonna count to 10. 1, 9.
I swear to God, man. Ah!
Swear to me.
You! Hey, I swear to you. He ain't been around. Nobody's seen him.
Step away from the door.
Oh, shit. Calm down. I have no idea where he is or what in the hell he's got planned, trust me.
I can't trust you.
If I knew anything, I'd tell you. Honor, people in my, let's call it line of work, we may be scared of you, but we're terrified of him.
Yeah, he usually comes around here right away.
You'd think the most important thing for him is to...
What?
Have a good time.
So why do you think he hasn't been to visit?
I don't know. Maybe he found himself another girl.
Hey, somebody wants you.
I'm gonna count to 10.
I need to watch the Batman The Killing too.
I swear to God, man.
You missed Scully's birthday. It was kind of a big one. Nobody showed at the party.
Guys, we missed Scully's.
Look, I'm sorry I'm late, but I'm here. I'm ready to go.
Connolly's playing the part.
Yeah, like f***ing hell, he's playing my part.
What the f*** did you just say to me?
It's my part.
It's my part, and I decide who to lend it to. Usually it's somebody that has f***ing sticks.
I left him in the car. I'll be right back. Take me 5 minutes.
I'm warming up the band now.
Look, I can use Ryan's sticks.
Neiman, you lost the f***ing part.
No, I didn't. Look, you can't f***ing do this to me.
Can't?
Yeah.
When did you become a f***ing expert on what I can or cannot do?
I earned that part.
You never earned anything. God, you are a
This is the dawning of the age of
the is because you misplaced a folder. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, I'm in studio band because I'm the
Hey,
best
why don't
player.
you just back
You
off?
off, Johnny Utah. Turn my pages, bitch.
Hey, I can cut you any f***ing time I want.
You would have cut me by now.
Try me, you f***ing weasel. At 5:30, that's in exactly 11 minutes. My band is on stage. If your ass is not on that stool with your own f***ing sticks in hand, or if you make one f***ing mistake, I will drum your ass back to Nassau, or we can let Johnny Utah play the part. You choose.
That's my part. I'll be on your stage. Look, I'm sorry I'm late, but I'm here. I'm ready to go.
Connolly's playing the part.
Yeah, like f***ing hell, he's playing my part.
What the f*** did you just say to me?
It's my part.
It's my part, and I decide who to lend it to. Usually it's somebody that has f***ing sticks.
I left him in the car. I'll be right back. Take me 5 minutes.
I'm warming up the band now.
Look, I can use Ryan's...
So how many friends are in this friend group?
15.
15? That's a huge fucking friend group. Did you have a name, like your group in high school? Yeah, you did. What was the name? What was the name? What was the name? I don't want an explanation.
Okay, our group chat is called the Nateful 19, and this is Nate.
The Nateful 19, and you're Nate. It's an honor and a privilege. I'm excited to see the documentary about your friend group someday. I see why you were hesitant to tell me the name now. It's my name. Okay, why? Why are you the figurehead?
It was random.
It was random?
Yeah.
So what's your name?
Carson.
So it could have been...
No, it wouldn't have been.
It wouldn't have been, because it wasn't random, was it, Nate? Tell me why. Or does he lock you up later if you fuck it up? Where's the rest? Where's the other 17?
I invited the others.
You invited them? You didn't have to tell me that. You could have said they lived in a different city or a different country. I begged them to come. They do not like your comedy.
They don't like crowd work.
You said they don't like crowd work.
That is correct.
Wow. Yeah, cults usually don't like it when someone investigates their origin story. Do they not like crowd work or do they not like journalism? How many friends are in this friend group?
15.
15? That's a huge fucking friend group. Did you have a name, like your group in high school? Yeah, you did. What was the name?
119. Why do I have so much money and nothing to spend it on?
What was the name? I don't want an explanation.
Okay, our group chat is called the Nateful 19, and this is Nate.
The Nateful 19, and you're Nate. It's an honor and a privilege. I'm excited to see the documentary about your friend group someday.
You serious? Carl waking up is crazy.
It's my name. Okay, why? Why are you the figurehead?
It was random.
It was random?
Yeah.
So what's your name?
Carson.
So it could have been...
No, it wouldn't have been.
It wouldn't have been, because it wasn't random, was it, Nate? Tell me why. Or does he lock you up later if you fuck it up? Where's the rest? Where's the other 17?
I invited them.
You invited them? You didn't have to tell me that. You could have said they lived in a different city or a different country. I begged them to come. They do not like your comedy.
They don't like crowd work.
You said they don't like crowd work.
That is correct.
Wow. Yeah, cults usually don't like it when someone investigates their origin story. Do they not like crowd work, or do they not like journalism? How many friends are in this friend group?
15.
15? That's a huge fucking friend group. Did you have a name, like your group in high school? Yeah, you did. What was the name? What was the name? What was the name?
I'll give it very quote and freeze try. What? Because it's really funny.
Nateful 19, and this is Nate.
The Nateful?
B64.
And you're Nate. It's an honor and a privilege. I'm excited to see the documentary about your friend group someday.
Yeah, I'm giving you too much. Let me go piss. Oh, that's another map.
Monaco Grand Prix. The race will start behind the safety car, which I'm sure is great news if you're Daniel Ricciardo starting on pole.
Let's see. Later, get back. And oof. Let's watch this, I guess.
I was raised in China's matrix. I was conditioned from childhood to solve complex problems, memorize information efficiently, and perform at the top of my class. But I was also conditioned to do the exact opposite. My mind was wired to reflexively stop thinking entirely at given moments. Here's the paradox. Millions of students like me go through the same system that seems to severely restrict the very critical thinking so crucial for innovation. And yet, China has built one of the most powerful tech industries in the world. Even now, amidst reports of top AI engineers in China facing exit bans, such as the recent Manus case, the system continues to accelerate.
That's
Every
insane.
year, China produces 4 times as many STEM graduates as the United States. Almost half of the world's top AI experts were trained in China. If critical thinking is so important to innovation,
Yes, I did
how
not
does a
know
system
Missy
that
Tyrannus
actively discourages it
abstract
still function so well?
popped in, so we could
The
use
truth
that.
is, from the inside, it doesn't even feel like anything is
Animat.
missing. And this is not merely theoretical. We saw it play out at a UK university recently. Associate Professor Michelle Shipworth at Inside, it doesn't even feel like anything is missing.
Should attack 145.
And this is not
Back
merely
85, so I really need
saw
to
it play out at a UK
back into
university
the
recently. Associate Professor Michelle
special
Shipworth
defense.
at University College London had been
Makes
teaching
sense
her data
that she
detective
has
module for over a
psychic,
decade. The course
light
featured a
screen,
long-standing
Vystra,
critical
the
thinking
Suturan.
exercise,
Perfect.
which included asking why China ranked second globally in modern slavery numbers, according to the Global Slavery Index. However, in March 2024, in a class where a quarter of the students were Chinese, many complained to the college, calling the course provocative and biased against Chinese students. Instead of defending academic rigor, the head of the department chose to cater to this group of Chinese students and removed Professor Shipworth from her course entirely. The official justification was that courses must remain commercially viable and retain a strong reputation among future Chinese applicants, who bring massive fee income to UCL. And this is where it gets interesting. Instead of applying critical thought to the question, these students collectively treated the exercise itself as fundamentally unacceptable. How does this happen? At first glance, it looks like a straightforward intellectual failure. But here's the uncomfortable truth. This reaction makes perfect sense inside the system we were trained in. We were never taught to question everything. Instead, we learn to distinguish between questions that fall under the critical thinking category and those that do not. Critical thinking category and those that do not. This conditioning is not simply a matter of being brainwashed. It involves far more push and pull. When I was growing up, China's information environment was far more open than it is today. Google was accessible. Independent publications existed. I remember reading thought-provoking newspapers and books from my father's bookshelf, which have since been quietly outlawed. At one point, I even wrote a school essay criticizing the Chinese education system. I argue that it focused too much on trivial issues and not enough on reflecting upon historical mistakes. My teacher praised my insightfulness. Driven by an aspiration to uncover the truth through writing, I went on to study Chinese language and literature at Nanjing University, one of the most esteemed institutions in the field.
Yeah, and I've heard of Nanjing University.
It was
That's
not
pretty
what
good.
I expected at all. Whenever I asked professors or peers questions beyond narrow academic topics, I was swiftly silenced. Questions such as, why was all Chinese history before 1912 labeled feudalism when it looked more like autocracy? Why was one half of the 20th century emphasized while the other was quietly erased? This was not because people lacked intelligence, but because they understood the trade-off. If everyone around you aspired to work for a top-tier state-run enterprise after graduation, asking such questions risked your exclusion from the game. I realized my
Or
insightfulness
enforcer
was
on
entirely
civil acid,
redundant.
okay.
That was for me a truly...
Buddy, I did not know you were...
Once that
okay,
boundary is
like that.
established, you focus only on what gets rewarded and what moves your life forward. In China, that means one thing.
Oh, damn.
Optimization. From a young age, the century of humiliation
Uh-huh.
was taught as a central theme in our history textbooks. It was a national trauma, treated with
bro,
a
I
famous
see now
Chinese
where
proverb.
it to you.
师夷长技以制夷. Learn the advanced technology from foreigners to control them. This concept is deeply woven into our national historical narrative. The solution became obvious. Master technology, optimize everything. And it worked. I saw this firsthand when I entered the music tech industry. In 2014, I shifted my focus to digital music production and moved to Shanghai to become an assistant to prominent tech-oriented composers, including the composer for Genshin Impact, the fastest-growing video
What the
game
fuck?
in-
Whoa, 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 okay. Slow down. Did this guy helped you punch Chan? Okay. Whether you like Genshin or not, it's a different story, but you Ping Chan is a generational talent. So, let's slow down and watch this again.
became obvious. Master technology, optimize everything. And it worked. I saw this firsthand when I entered the music tech industry. In 2014, I shifted my focus to digital
You
music
shifted, and the first thing you got gig you got was
to become an assistant to
it's crazy.
prominent tech-oriented
It's so unfair.
including the composer for Genshin Impact, the fastest-growing video game in the world. For the first time, my life felt aligned. My skills were rewarded by China's rapidly booming gaming and film sectors. My progress was validated
what a
by
coincidence.
national and
You saw me and you looked like you got one too.
and my pride
Nice.
in the advanced musical equipment manufactured in China was entirely genuine. For a time, it felt as though nothing else mattered. The earlier discomfort, the questions I was
Hey,
not
I
allowed
use-
to ask, simply faded into the background.
You're
This is
talking
where
rubbish.
it becomes counterintuitive. Restricting certain types of critical thought does not actually slow people down. In many cases, it makes them faster. After certain boundaries of thought are drawn, you stop wasting
This guy's straight up
energy
using
questioning the
legendaries.
walls, and you start
That's-
optimizing the space inside them. And once I saw this pattern, I realized something deeper. It wasn't just education shaping our selective critical thought.
You're
It was also
gigantic social
language.
media.
Historically, the Chinese language was often described as a burden because you needed to memorize 2,000 characters just to be literate. But today, with digital typing, that barrier has vanished. Furthermore, the Chinese language now demonstrates even higher efficiency than English. Its tonal distinctions and visual complexity maximize semantic density, allowing a Chinese speaker to convey nuanced ideas with far fewer syllables. Take this English sentence. This piece of junk app is secretly draining my cellular data in the background again. That's 24 syllables. It takes about 5 seconds to read. In Mandarin, the exact same sentence is 这破软件又在后台偷跑流量. That is 12 syllables. It takes only 2 seconds. This efficiency is especially visible in mathematics. Numbers are short and rhythmic. Multiplication tables are memorized through chanting, making mental arithmetic.
Actually, I should probably stock that.
For example, 6 times 7 is 42 and 7 times 7 is 49. In Chinese, we chant 6 7 42 7 7 49. It is incredibly condensed. From childhood, we are trained to process calculations intuitively at lightning speed. We're trained to treat thinking itself as a cognitive efficiency engine. Faster answers, cleaner solutions. Over time, for Chinese citizens, thinking becomes less about questioning the premise of a problem and more about answering the given question as efficiently as possible. So this isn't just about language. It reinforces a deeper habit, treating thinking as optimization, not exploration. We now understand that a restricted education promotes optimization, with our language serving as the engine. Yet this is still not enough to explain how the system produces happy, innovative tech talents. To understand that, we must examine a deeper-seated motivation replacement driven by online culture in today's China, a phenomenon that is widely misunderstood. Before we go further, I actually made a full breakdown of how the selective online policing system works in China. I'll link it below if you want to delve deeper after this, because what we are about to discuss here is built entirely on top of that system. Most people assume state control relies purely on brainwashing propaganda, but in reality, Chinese propaganda is largely ignored. It's repetitive and predictable, and citizens don't take it seriously. So the system evolved. It didn't force people to believe anything. It made the truth feel irrelevant. Over time, serious discussion is replaced by entertainment. Debate is replaced by distraction. Eventually, people stop seeking out uncomfortable ideas, not because they are strictly forbidden, but because engaging with them is emotionally and socially exhausting. This creates a culture of hyperhedonism, where comfort is the ultimate priority and cognitive dissonance is avoided at all costs. In this environment, critical thinking doesn't disappear, it just becomes invisible. And what's invisible doesn't get defended. Intellectuals still exist, but to survive, their serious ideas are hidden behind paywalls to avoid censorship, or they are repackaged as pure entertainment. For example, when the famous Chinese intellectual Xu Zhiyuan reflected on China's totalitarian state in his book The Totalitarian Temptation, published a decade ago, it was censored immediately.
120 on Kuna.
Yet today, with his publisher arrested in China and his academic journey erased. He has shifted his focus to heavy engagement in the hedonism of pop culture. He sustains his identity as a pro-liberty late-night talk show celebrity based in China, while significantly reducing the visibility of his initial political advocacy. For tech talents, this vacuum of rational debate became the fertile soil needed to build dopamine engines. Short-form video platforms like Douyin, which evolved into the global juggernaut TikTok, and incubated a gigantic gaming industry that is rapidly taking over the world market. This high hedonism results in a loss of immunity to critical voices in China. When you present objective evidence proving their worldview is flawed, many of them don't debate the facts. They dismiss your argument by attacking your motives, accusing you of trying to undermine their hard-won, willfully blind happiness. I experienced this personally. When I began speaking out about my Uyghur classmate at Nanjing University, a talented ethnologist who was arbitrarily detained without a fair trial for many years during the mass detentions in Xinjiang. Many friends in my music circle blocked me immediately. They didn't argue with me. They intuitively cut me off because my words fell outside the domain of permissible questions, threatening their comfort within the ecosystem we had built together in China.
Damn it.
That was when
you done more damage by dying. Damn, that's crazy.
I regained the critical thinking that was briefly introduced to me as a child and restarted my exploration of how the system really works. In addition to all the cultural reasons I've mentioned, there is one crucial objective reason this system is so effective: scale. We've been taught that innovation requires creative and critical thinking, but what if that's only true for discovering new ideas, not for scaling them? China produces millions of engineers and technical workers every year. Entire industries
are you hitting two of them in a row?
Mathematically impossible to match elsewhere. You don't need every single individual to be a visionary innovator if you have millions executing flawlessly. At that scale, problems don't need to be debated, they just need to be assigned. But this system doesn't operate in a vacuum. It is amplified by the global economy that surrounds it. Over the past few decades, many Western countries hollowed out their own manufacturing capacity and outsourced production to China for lower costs. This severed the link between production and scrutiny. Supply chains stretch across borders, but accountability for property and labor rights rarely follows, largely due to China's speech control architecture. This is where the system becomes not just powerful, but essentially untouchable. Questions about the true cost
I swear I've gotten more epic eggs from this.
Asked because of this global scale. No journalists, whether Chinese nationals or from overseas media, are allowed to investigate forced labor at state-run mining sites, which are common in the upstream supply chains of almost all frontier technology around the world. Because doing so would violate espionage laws by exposing state secrets. Look at Canadian Liberal MP Michael Ma. In a March 2026 parliamentary hearing on EV and aluminium supply chains, he grilled an expert on China's forced labor practices, repeatedly demanding to know if she had personally witnessed them and dismissing reports as hearsay. Chinese state media celebrated the moment as a win. Ma's past leadership in an organization linked to Beijing's United Front
Water dark is fine, water poison is actually gold.
Inside China. The upstream supply chains of almost all frontier technology around the world, because doing so would violate espionage laws by exposing state secrets. Look at Canadian Liberal MP Michael Ma. In a March 2026 parliamentary hearing on EV and aluminium supply chains, he grilled an expert on China's forced labor practices, repeatedly demanding to know if she had personally witnessed them and dismissing reports as hearsay. Chinese state media celebrated the moment as a win. Ma's past leadership in an organization linked to Beijing's United Front network helps explain this. The lack of investigation inside China on these issues, combined with China's stranglehold on global tech and critical mineral supply chains, creates powerful incentives that can co-opt critics even inside Western governments. And this is where the system stops being domestic and becomes global. We minus forced labor practices, repeatedly demanding to know if she had personally witnessed them and dismissing reports as hearsay. Chinese state media celebrated the moment as a win. Ma's past leadership in an organization linked to Beijing's United Front network helps explain this performance. The lack of investigation inside China on these issues, combined with China's stranglehold on global tech and critical mineral supply chains, creates powerful incentives that can co-opt critics even inside Western governments. And this is where the system stops being domestic and becomes global. We might still harbor the illusion that Western media criticism of China's forced labor is oversaturated. However, we often forget that it only feels this way because the complete absence of direct research and reporting in China creates a vacuum on an unimaginable scale on the other side of the planet. Not only is Western research insufficient to compensate for that vacuum, but researchers in the West are also increasingly facing intimidation from the Beijing regime. Look at what happened to a Stanford researcher recently. After exposing the Chinese regime's forced labor practices embedded in its industry and global tech supply chains, she was directly targeted by suspected Chinese government agents. The FBI confirmed last week the Chinese regime's research and reporting in China creates a vacuum on an unimaginable scale on the other side of the planet. Not only is Western research insufficient to compensate for that vacuum, but researchers in the West are also increasingly facing intimidation from the Beijing regime. Look at what happened to a Stanford researcher recently. After exposing the Chinese regime's forced labor practices embedded in its industry and global tech supply chains, she was directly targeted by suspected Chinese government agents. The FBI confirmed last week she was under physical surveillance right on the Stanford campus, while she received a barrage of harassing calls that mentioned her mother back home and demanded she drop the work. This is textbook transnational repression, proof of how Beijing's tech power gives the regime the reach to intimidate and silence critics even deep inside American academia. Subsequently, raising questions about those supply chains becomes
how do you get burnt twice? And how am I in the volcano twice?
Western institutions have learned to actively cater to this willful blindness. To keep their seats at the lucrative global chess table, institutions compromise. The UCL incident I mentioned at the beginning is just another perfect illustration of this. The psychological cost of this compromise is immense. Chinese tech talents find validation in their autocratic system, not just through their industrial might, but by watching the West willingly trade its civilized values for financial scale. The West forgets that individual liberty, academic freedom, and free speech are the very principles that initially ended the global slave trade, secured property rights, and created the thriving free markets we rely on today. If the very Western institutions that preach those values are so quick to abandon them, why would you expect a Chinese engineer to risk their career, their freedom, and their safety to fight for critical thinking? When you put all of this together, the paradox is explained. As long as the global establishment rewards that system based on its scale, without challenging Beijing's authority to dictate which questions fall under the critical thinking category, the model seems incredibly effective. But the real question isn't whether this system works. It clearly does for a while. The real question is what happens when the very questions it avoids confronting at all costs become the only ones that matter. If you found this analysis helpful in understanding these complex realities, please consider subscribing. And if you need more vocabulary to understand exactly how this architecture of control functions, check out this long video essay I made recently that breaks down China's selective online policing machine in detail. Thank you for watching and stay well.
China is in an AI lobster great leap forward, and if you don't understand what I'm saying, stick around and I'll definitely explain it to you. But I don't say this lightly, but back in
Avatar Legends, the fighting game, just added a really cool Azula detail that fans of the show will love. In the final book of Avatar The Last Airbender, Azula finally becomes the Fire Lord. Her victory is short-lived when she has a mental breakdown. Zuko immediately notices that his sister, who is usually cunning and precise, now lashes out in erratic and chaotic firebending. So, in Avatar Legends, Azula has two fighting stances. Her focus stance is refined. You can really tell she's the prodigious daughter of Fire Lord Ozai, but in Fire Lord's stance, you can almost feel the absent mother and borderline personality disorder. I can't tell if Avatar Legends is a good game yet, but details like this show it's clearly made with love for the series. Avatar Legends, the fighting game, just added a really cool
Good shot,
Azula detail
storm
that
through
fans of the
rock
show will
blast
love.
iron.
In the final book
That's
of
kinda
Avatar
cool.
The Last Airbender, Azula finally becomes.
Hey NASA, what's new with you? Something crazy happened to the mission that was going to the moon because the astronauts had a problem using the toilets. No way the toilets were not working. That's like the most basic thing. Okay, they're not that basic. You know how hard it is to make a toilet in outer space where there is no gravity? And also how expensive it is? Oh, how much is it? Like $30 million. But what happened? How did the toilets not work? So the astronauts were checking the system and they realized that, yeah, the toilets were not working, which means that the waste can float everywhere. Okay, that's disgusting. That's super dangerous because the air could be contaminated. So they're unable to go to the toilet? Well, gladly it got fixed. Amazing, but how? Before that, don't forget to subscribe because I'll give you more stories every day. Because apparently the toilet system was working, but it just needed more water. So gladly it's working now. And the astronauts can use the toilet again. And all of that after the astronauts checked the issue. Wow, we even made the astronauts work as plumbers, huh? Hey, space plumbers. Okay, that sounds cool. Hey NASA, what's new with you? Something crazy happened.
Who did that? Oh. Word. What's she doing here anyway? Oh, come on. Oh, please. What happened now, officer? Actually, there should be a nice long, of these I could put where towards the tail end of this. And use it. Oh my god.
I woke up one day and realized this is the rest of my life, assuming I live to the average lifespan of 78. And this is how many hours I spent on my phone a day last week. So I'm set to lose 16 years of my life to my phone. Okay, maybe we don't need all of these years back. The average American is losing 2.5 months a year to their phones.
Turns out that only 10% of the time that you check your phone, 10% of the time, is it because of one of these ping ding or rings.
And I know big tech has hacked my brain to make my phone super addictive. But how? How does the hack actually work, and why does it get stronger every year? Because if I can figure it out, I might win all those years back. Now that our dramatic intro is over, the answer to our question starts at Stanford. Stanford University, a school I can never get into but can pretend to be at for a YouTube video. It may not seem like it, but this is actually a very strange class. It's not a computer science class or even a business or entrepreneurship class, and yet the students in this class turned their homework into 7-figure startups. God, I should have paid attention more. Also, some of these students went on to become the head of growth at Facebook, co-found Instagram, and work at dozens of companies like Uber and Google. That makes our professor, BJ Fogg, one of the most pivotal people in Silicon Valley that no one's ever heard of. And yeah, that's his name, BJ. If you think that's funny, then you have the sense of humor of an 11-year-old. Even though BJ Fogg is teaching his students to make apps, he's actually not a computer programmer, but a psychologist. And he was one of the first people to figure out how your phone can use bait to hook a user in. And today he's going to teach all of us how to masturbate. See, you might have heard that your phone is engineered like a slot machine. But this is a massive oversimplification and not a good enough answer for me.
It's not gambling when you know you're going to win.
Hi Nessa, thank you for being one of the blaster. Are you not?
I'm told.
Jimmy?
With casinos, more often than not, you're losing. Some go into debt. Is losing fun? Great question. See, for decades, social scientists actually didn't fully understand what made casinos so addicting, but that will change after psychologist B.F. Skinner.
Shreyas, my star student. Who are you talking to?
It's no one, I'm sorry, it's just nothing. Yeah, I make him call me his star student, it's my video, okay? Deal with it. Just go to the next one away. B.F. Skinner believed human behavior could be shaped through positive or negative reinforcement, and proved this through an experiment where rats could pull a lever. Surely enough, they would keep pulling the lever and keep getting the reward. They were hooked. This is how addiction works, we all nod in agreement. Nope, because there were some rats who would pull the levers obsessively, constantly, insatiably. The only difference, their levers were basically broken. They didn't get rewards every time they pulled the lever. Instead, they got it randomly. This was called a variable ratio schedule, and B.F. Skinner concluded that this causes rats and people to develop behaviors that are, quote, hard to extinguish. Basically, habits that do not stop. So now we understand casinos, kinda, and our phones a little better. Less reward equals more addicting? Not quite. This research serves as one of the foundations to BJ Fogg's claim to fame. He invented the Fogg behavioral model, and I'll just let him explain it.
Basically, for an app to compel you to do something, there's 3 components, all right? First, motivation. It has to motivate you to complete the action. Secondly, it has to ensure you have the ability to complete the action. And thirdly, it has to prompt you to complete the action. Now, for an action that is hard to do, such as learning a language, the app has to motivate you more. Right? And that can come in the form of games or prizes. But for an action that's simple, such as checking text messages, right? Very easy to do. You might already be motivated to do it, so the app doesn't have to do much prompting. So a simple buzz or text is good enough. But motivation is tricky, yeah? How can an app motivate us to do something? Yeah? It's not like Instagram is giving me a pep talk every night to continue doom scrolling. I do that on my own. Right? Apps use this thing called dopamine.
If dopamine makes something more addictive, then how come variable rewards, aka rewards that happen less often, how come they're more addictive?
That is actually an excellent question. How can something be more addictive?
How did you
Users
miss?
getting less rewards.
No, like, how did you actually miss?
I know who knows the answer. Shreyas, you're getting an A, buddy, and your parents are gonna call you. They're so proud of you, and you are. You're perfect.
Okay, I know, I have a problem. So to answer this question about how less dopamine can be more addicting, let's talk about Wolfram Schultz.
See, Shreyas, a common misconception is that dopamine is tied to only a reward, and that is not true. Watch this. Hello? I am Dr. Wolfram Schultz. It is nice to meet you. All right. Now, observe as I ring the bell. When I ring the bell, I give the monkey some juice. Okay.
Ow!
No.
Oh wait, Firefly. My bad. The types are different.
And the juice
I totally.
Times.
Fucked up. Good book.
Look, we are tracking the monkey's brain, and the dopamine spikes when I ring the
Bro.
bell. Not when I give the
Bro.
juice. But if I do not give him the juice, his dopamine levels drop below normal. No, calm down. This is okay. We try one more time. Here, see?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Blue carrot and low, yes.
As he realizes,
Motherfucker!
it will never come. He will be left without it for eternity. However, it's okay. He will learn to live with this reality. I can teach
Please.
him a little bit with the juice.
So if you mess with some bullshit.
No, you do not get the juice.
Holy cow, bro. Listen to this.
No.
I mean, yeah, both were low. Oh no. There's another one. Oh, thank God. The spikes and.
Trigger or the cue.
Holy cow, bro. We were literally going to die too, man. Oh my God. That
Thank
was
you, Dr.
actually
So as we learned from
legitimately
work, it's a variable reward,
close.
or inconsistent reward that is more addicting than getting more reward. And what we learned from Wolfram
I have to
Schultz's work
straight it.
is that
I
this
can't. I
actually
don't
makes sense
have
because
enough.
when you don't get the reward after the trigger that we saw in the rat experiment, your dopamine goes below average, meaning that you desire the next trigger or cue that a reward is going to come. And Wolfram Schultz's research was
Thank you,
groundbreaking for the
but
industry
damn.
and helping us understand that it is anticipation for reward. That is what we are addicted to, the anticipation.
When I ring the bell, I give the monkey some juice. Okay, that is enough. No. Enough. I did the bell ringing and the juice giving many times. Look, we are tracking the monkey's brain, and the dopamine spikes when I ring the bell, not when I give the juice. But if I do not give him the juice, his dopamine levels drop below normal. No, calm down. This is okay.
I made it in defense.
His dopamine spikes, and then it falls. As he realizes that the reward will not come. It will never come. He will be left without it for eternity. However,
If I give that in defense, I can
okay, he
win.
will learn to live with this reality. I can even tease him a little bit with the juice. No, you do not get the juice. Oh, no.
On right now.
Bad boy. My research breaks a very common misnomer. Dopamine is tied to the trigger or the cue, not to the reward. Not?
Thank you, Dr. Schultz. So as we learned from B.F. Skinner's work, it's a variable reward or inconsistent reward that is more addicting than getting more reward. And what we learned from Wolfram Schultz's work is that this actually makes sense because when you don't get the reward after the trigger that we saw in the rat experiment, your dopamine goes below average, meaning that you
better
desire
kill
the
him here.
next trigger or cue that a reward is going to come. And Wolfram Schultz's research was groundbreaking for the industry and helping us understand that
You
it is
serious right now, bro?
anticipation for reward. That is what we are addicted to, the anticipation, not the reward itself. It's the same
Are you
reason why a
serious
gambler
right now,
walks
bro?
into a casino every day
Okay.
for the chance to win $1 million, the chance to change his life. It is the anticipation that he's hooked to, not the reward itself. And I think the same thing is true for our phones. Oh no, my data got stolen. In our super digital world, mega breaches of our personal information can happen all the time. Something bad happens to you. Like, I once had some stranger take out a loan in my name to buy a giant oil painting of Andrew Garfield and put it up in my bedroom so that I could look at it every time I go to sleep. Who would do that to me? And if you find a website that has personal information about you, then Incogni's new feature, Custom Removals, can help take care of it for you on many
Water
levels.
poison is actually kind of good.
Right now and get started.
That's the typing.
See, we think it's the posts on Instagram that hook us, the posts that make us laugh or that enrage us, but that's actually just half of it. The other half are things like infinite scroll, the refresh, things that keep us in anticipation that reward might come. Something sometimes as simple as a buzz or a ding. In fact, as some experts point out, because the barrier to access our phone is so low, we can do it at any moment, we're basically in a constant state of anticipation.
At the beach.
I'm in a constant state of anticipation of you letting me sit at the dining hall with you. My girlfriend's asking what you're doing on Valentine's Day.
So to better understand how to unhack my brain, I'm about to go talk to an actual former BJ Fogg student named Nir Eyal, who went on to author the book Indistractable, which is about how to control your attention. But before I go, I should say that BJ Fogg actually always had a very optimistic view of how merging psychology and technology could impact people. He had a vision of a world where we could use SMS text to help people get off cigarettes. But once he realized what happened once this genie was out of the bottle, he became one of our foremost experts in warning people about big tech and what it was trying to do to our attention. Fogg's class is by no means a nexus that caused big tech to use psychology. It's very much just an example of a broader trend that was happening at that time. And Nir Eyal had a front row seat to watch it happen.
How did our phones get so good at hacking our brains?
This video that we're recording right now, where is it going?
YouTube.com.
Yeah, and so when you want lots of people to view this video, how do you make a good video? What's the most important thing to making a good video?
Story.
Story. Why is story the most important thing?
You want to talk about something that people find really interesting, that compels them to watch the video and stay for the whole video until the end.
That's your answer. Does the media tell us what's most important in our lives? No. They tell us what's scary, what's exciting, what's interesting, what's weird, what's different. That's what they tell us.
Doesn't have stamina.
Thousands of flights didn't crash today. They tell us about the one that had some terrible disaster that we're all scared of, because that's different. That's something you don't expect. It's called a pattern interrupt. So what all media does is incorporate some kind of variable reward, whether it's social media, whether it's gambling, whether it's the news, whether it's this very video you're watching right now. You want to know, what am I going to say next? Is it what I expect? Nah, I'm not going to watch that. I want something different, exciting, controversial. I want a hot take. The media business, the business you are in, is about turning eyeballs into cash. That's what you do for a living. You're the pot calling the kettle black. This is your business. You're a drug dealer, right?
Oh, This made me ponder, was I the problem? I mean, my videos got hundreds, if not tens of views. There's people out there who missed important moments of their life because they were staring at my videos all day. Was I really the kettle calling the pot African American? Instead of just blaming this technology and hoping our overlords would fix it, maybe I had to start with fixing myself.
So the first step is to understand what is the difference between distraction and traction.
Does he just have the same mic as me?
Traction is anything that you say you're going to do. So whether that's going on a walk, or meditating, or checking your phone, or doing homework, doesn't matter. Anything you say you're going to do in advance is traction. Everything else is distraction. Then we have to understand our triggers. What are our internal triggers and our external triggers? Turns out that only 10% of the time that you check your phone, 10% of the time, is it because of one of these ping, ding, or rings, right? These are called external triggers, 10%. The other 90% of the time that we check our phone, 90%, is not about the stuff happening outside of us, it's about what's happening inside of us. These are called internal triggers. And if we don't understand why these internal triggers are the source of distractions, we can't do anything about them. So what are
I called
triggers? They are uncomfortable feelings. They are boredom, loneliness, fatigue, uncertainty, anxiety. If you don't understand the source of that distraction, you will always be distracted by one thing or another. So that's the most important thing, is to master those internal triggers. Have tools ready to go so that when you feel boredom, when you feel uncertainty, when you feel loneliness, you don't impulsively check. You do something that's healthy and helpful rather than hurtful.
Got it. I tried doing this thing where I put a stack of sticky notes on my phone, so before I used it, I had to write down what I was going to use it for. Does stuff like that really work? Have you tried something like that?
I'll tell you about an effort pack that I did. Is it okay if we get a little personal here?
Yeah, of course.
I noticed when I was writing Indistractable.
Notes on my phone, so before I used it, I had to write down what I was going to use it for. Does stuff like that really work? Have you tried something like that?
I'll tell you about an effort pack that I did.
So good.
Is it okay if we get a little personal?
I didn't know.
I noticed when I was writing Indistractable that my sex life was really suffering, because every night I was caressing my iPad and my wife. I noticed when I was writing. I'll tell you about an effort pack that I did. Is it okay if we get a little personal here?
Yeah, of course.
I noticed when I was writing Indistractable that my sex life was really suffering, because every night I was caressing my iPad and my wife was fondling her iPhone, and we weren't being intimate.
Been there. Not with your wife, just in general. Also not in general.
What were you saying?
In the research for my book, I came across these effort packs, and I decided to adopt one. So what did I do? I went to the hardware store, and I bought this $6 outlet timer. And this outlet timer, you can program. In my book, I came across these effort packs, and I decided
Bro,
to
I
adopt
didn't
one. So
know,
what did I do?
bro. I
went to
didn't
the hardware
know.
store, and I bought us a
Didn't know,
$6
bro.
outlet timer. And this outlet timer, you can program to turn on or off whatever's plugged into it at a certain time of day or night. So in my household, every night, 10 p.m., the internet
I'm sorry.
shuts off. Now, could I turn it back on? Of course I could. But now I have to get under my desk and I have to unplug and replug, or I have to change my Wi-Fi settings. It's like a big old mess. And so I don't do it because I put a bit of friction in between something that I don't want to do. I don't want to keep scrolling. I don't want to keep, checking email and all that other stuff. I want to get to bed on time so I can get proper rest and maybe be intimate with my wife.
really don't want to die.
So that's an example of an effort pact, but it only works because I did the other 3 steps first. Mastered internal triggers, made time for traction, right? I have a bedtime now, hacked back the external triggers, all the devices are charging outside, and then finally, the 4th and final step, that can be making one of these effort packs.
And I think Nir Eyal's right. I can't wait for big tech or the government to solve
outside, and then finally, the 4th and final step, that can be making one of these effort packs.
And I think
and then time now, hack back the external triggers, all the devices are charging outside, and
Mother-
then finally, the 4th and final step, that can be making one of these effort packs.
And I think Nir Eyal's right. I can't wait for big tech or the government to solve this for me today. How am I supposed to master the internal triggers? What if I didn't use my phone and just sat with my feelings for a day? I woke up late for work and couldn't even get into my office. And missed an urgent text from my mom. Okay, phones are way too entrenched in our life for that to be practical. Okay, it. Fine. I'll master the internal triggers. What am I really feeling right now? Kinda hungry? What if someone needs me? No. Why did I think that painting was nice? Am I a moron? Okay, this is unproductive. Sitting here in silence, I could respond to an email. Did I get an email? Fuck, what if it's a really important email? Emails are my hell. I realized my biggest anxiety was that I feared missing out on the news, on a text, on a work email.
When I'm writing, I implement what's called the 10-minute rule. The 10-minute rule says that you can give in to any distraction, right?
What?
I can go check sports scores, I can check stock prices, I can check my email, I can check that stuff. Not right now, okay? I'm gonna check it in 10 minutes. That's the whole idea, that you're gonna delay that gratification. You're not saying no, because we know that saying no actually backfires. So what you're saying instead of no is not yet.
I started noticing that the 10-minute rule worked immediately. My screen time went down, kinda, because I started training my brain into realizing I could go without checking my phone for 10 minutes and nothing in my life was falling apart. This is only the start of my journey. I know so much more about how my phone captures my attention, and that I should be focusing on those internal triggers that gravitate towards my phone. Understanding how phones are able to take advantage of my brain has helped me be so much more conscious in those mindless moments with my phone.
I'm sorry, I have to escape scum at this one point.
Like nothing really gets past me. It's
got
like spidey senses or something.
Huh? Scam. Not scam, likely you're a scam for sure. Clutch King? Clutch King? Clutch King. I almost thought I lost there or something, bro. Touché. He's bringing all the right Pokemon to all the right situations. Cool. You want to play like that? We can play like that. That really does a lot of damage. Holy. Oh, sure.
Very quickly, are you going to start on the hard or the medium?
Probably gonna start on the medium.
All right, thank you very much.
Probably gonna start on the medium.
Actually, George, I got a question for you. Are you good in math? I'm okay in maths. Okay, so I'm gonna need your L for my final exam.
What would you describe you two as, like, as a pair?
Dumb and Dumber.
Here she comes walking down the street.
Oh, they did do so much damage. What a cry. What a piece of shit. I know. Libero.
Very quickly, are you going to start on the hard or the medium?
Probably gonna start on the medium.
All right, thank you very much.
Probably gonna start on the medium.
E-skill. E-skill.
Actually, George, I got a question for you. Are you good in math? I'm okay in maths. Okay, so I'm gonna need your L for my final exam.
What would you describe you two as, like, as a pair?
Dumb and Dumber.
Here she comes walking down the street. Maddie Klein and her fabulous loving machine.
What the fuck? What did they attack? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean it avoided?
On the hard or the medium?
Probably gonna start on the medium.
All right, thank you.
There's this American actor called Miles Teller, and he's having a bit of a moment online because he's in the new Top Gun film.
Yep.
He does this kind of little shirtless shimmy, and everyone's a bit like, "Ooh, who is this guy?" Let me introduce you. Hang on, I gotta concentrate on the world's shittest joke of all time.
Oh, okay. Drum roll. Brrr.
Miles Teller, you mean an odometer?
That is hilarious.
Are you taking the piss?
It's telling you the miles.
Are you taking the piss? You this better be genuine laughter. You better be laughing. There's this American actor called Miles Teller, and he's having a bit of a moment online because he's in the new Top Gun film.
Yep.
He does this kind of little shirtless shimmy, and everyone's a bit like, "Ooh, who is this guy?" Let me introduce you. Hang on, I gotta concentrate on the world's shittest joke of all time.
Oh, okay. Drum roll. Brrr.
Miles Teller, you mean an odometer?
That is hilarious.
Are you taking the piss?
It's telling you the miles.
Are you taking the piss? This better be genuine laughter. You better be laughing. There's this American actor called Miles Teller, and he's having a bit of a moment online because he's in the new Top Gun film.
Yep.
He does this kind of little shirtless shimmy, and everyone's a bit like, "Ooh, who is this guy?" Let me introduce you. Hang on, I gotta concentrate on the world shittest joke of all time.
Oh, okay. Drum roll. Brrr.
Miles Teller? You mean an odometer?
Please take that. Thank you.
That is hilarious.
Are you taking the piss?
It's telling you the miles.
Are you taking the piss? This better be genuine laughter. You better be laughing.
I have to. I'm sorry. I have to
There's this
snap.
American actor called Miles Teller, and he's having a bit of a moment online because he's in the new Top Gun film.
Yep.
He does this kind of little shirtless shimmy, and everyone's a bit like, "Ooh, who is this guy?" Let me introduce you. Hang on, I gotta concentrate on the world shittest joke of all time.
Oh, okay. Drum roll. Brrr.
Miles Teller? You mean an odometer?
Motherfucker. He's actually making me struggle here.
That is hilarious.
I must say he surprised me today.
Even you, he's surprised.
And I know him for a long time, and I've seen many races he did, but today it was incredible.
Yeah, the hat comes off. The hat comes off from Nicky Lauda. Yeah.
Today it was incredible.
Yeah, the hat comes off. The hat comes off from Nicky Lauda.
Goes and finds grip everywhere else. Okay, you're going there, I'll just go somewhere else then and see how it is. Okay, you're going there, I'll just go somewhere else then and see how it is out there. Does he nearly almost come on, hang in there? He's gonna brave it out. Come on, lad, you can do it. He's done it. There you go. Staring like crazy underneath this.
Max Verstappen! Oh, Max Verstappen! Can he keep it out of the barriers?
I must say he surprised me today.
Even you, he's surprised.
And I know him for a long time, and I've seen many races he did, but today it
Thank you for thinking that. Oh, so I can't escape. Oh, you're being funny. I forgot. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind or something. I just have to do this. Do you think I would have killed him if it wasn't for that? Just tell me I gave you a different... Oh my god! I can't do this. I can't. What do you want me to do here? Bro, it's Terra water. You kidding me right now? I am so cooked. There's no way. Yeah. I need to do this better.
Yes, I will teach you the sword stuff. Lesson 1. Block my eggs.
Yut! Yut! Ha! Got one!
Ha 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 ha! Excellent!
Whoa!
can't believe I'm struggling like this, bro.
Yeah! That's right! I can take this! Yeah!
You have done well today. Perhaps you are ready to learn my secret technique.
Secret technique.
Watch.
What the?
The shadowless thrust. Your blade must be swift enough to slice the air between you and the target, removing all wind resistance. Yes, I will teach you the sword stuff.
You're not stupid.
Lesson 1. Block my eggs.
Yut!
I'm wondering if I can
Got one!
do something like... What the fuck? And some... Oh, because of the two folk. It's like this is a fixed seed of some sort.
You have done well today. Perhaps
And
you are ready to
outspeed
learn
after
my
this
secret
in a...
technique.
Secret technique.
Watch.
What the?
The shadowless thrust. Your blade must be swift enough to slice the air between you and the target, removing all wind resistance. Yes, I will teach you the sword stuff. Lesson 1. Block my eggs.
Yut! Yut! Ha! Got one!
Excellent.
Yeah, I think I'm cooked.
You working on the beat?
Yeah, let me do something.
What are you feeling, bro? What do you want?
I don't even know. What you want? Like
Fast upbeat.
some fast upbeat shit. You gotta do some like boom bap, old rap, but like some new school shit though. Like,
Wait, which is it?
Some Joey Badass. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Boom bap drums, but not too dusty.
Like some Joey Badass shit. Yeah, that's hard. Yeah. Ignorance is bliss. Man, I reminisce the things I had in life I didn't miss. I'm talking about a gift. I can do it on my own. Metaphorically, teaching you to rap nice. Accordingly.
From the NYC, big star, rock star, I'm like a VIP. You belong in the UIP, unimportant person. I was broke.
Damn, this guy's pretty bad.
Surfing.
Yeah, they call
Hey,
it
badass. I actually have a couple of his songs.
Fingers, damn, I need a high five. Young nigga chasing my dreams.
Who's bigger than me? I'm big like B, I damn G. People try to show shade, but they could never. I'm way too clever. I do it better.
414, Pride City, what you call? Welcome to the city, writing rhymes. I'm the chosen one.
I got 4 rings and I need 5. I've been taking drugs just to feel alive. These niggas is square, can fit in my circle. Baby, I'm sorry that I done hurt you. I know life ain't perfect, but I'm trying to make it better.
Motherfucker.
Let's get it. Vibing alone. They ain't even know I was a king to this. Don't give me my crown. Told my dog, don't let me down.
You working on the beat?
Yeah, let me do something.
What are you feeling, bro? What do you want?
I don't even know. What you want? Like
fast upbeat.
Some fast upbeat shit. You gotta do some like boom bap, old rap, but like some new school shit though. Like,
Wait, which is it?
Some Joey Badass. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Boom bap drums, but not too dusty.
Like some Joey Badass shit. Yeah, that's hard.
How much is it? You know perfectly well how much it is.
Yeah, we've forgotten.
Money is vulgar. You can't put a price on something as exquisite as that.
Yeah, but Alfa Romeo did put a price on it, didn't they? And what was it?
£60,000.
So you could have both of our cars and everything you see in the back of a shot here for the price of one of these Alfa Romeo.
I know, it is extraordinary value for money. It's
too far from outside to inside. It's miles. Rotary heater knobs. Hammering. Look at that. Is that fixed on or has that come off? Alfa Romeo, purveyors of disappointment for nearly 3 decades.
Look at this. Classy.
Oh.
Yeah. Feel the quality.
Let me
in
feel that. £60,000.
If you ever buy a new item of clothing, never show it to these two, because what are you wearing that jacket for? It makes you look like a German game chain house.
Why are you wearing that jacket?
Because I was at a party in India last night, and I've hurried over here.
Really?
Why did you go to the party dressed as a German game show host?
How much is it?
You know perfectly well how...
See you later, fucker. See you later, fucker.
I cannot see. I'm legally blind.
A few moments later.
Huh?
I looked at me so keep it posted.
See you later, fucker.
I cannot see.
see, I'm legally blind.
A few moments later.
Huh? I looked at me, so keep me posted.
For her, I'd stand in line for a butter squirt. Yeah, she is a hottie. Hey, that's no hottie. That's your ex-wife. Judith?
Alan?
Sorry about the squirt thing. Look at you, new hair, clothes. You look... Wow.
Thank you.
No, thank you. It's a public service when a gay chick goes lipstick instead of lumberjack. So, how was the movie? Where's Jake?
I'm home with a babysitter. Alan, I'm kind of on a date.
Oh, okay. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm the ex.
Alan, that's not my date.
Hey, Alan.
Phil, what a coincidence. Phil is Jake's soccer coach. Phil, you remember Judith.
Well, yeah.
Bad news. What? The Dacia Sandero. It's delayed.
Oh, no. Anyway, last week...
News.
What?
The Dacia Sandero. I've got a new picture.
James, bad news. The Dacia Sandero.
The what?
The Dacia Sandero is not coming to the UK.
Oh. Now, British car. Great news.
What?
I've been sent more information on the Dacia Sandero.
Excellent.
Great news.
What?
The Dacia... I know what it is. Bad news.
What?
The Dacia Sandero. It's delayed.
Oh, no. Anyway, last week...
News.
What?
The Dacia Sandero. I've got a new picture.
James, bad news. The Dacia Sandero.
The what?
The Dacia Sandero is not coming to the UK.
Oh.
British fucking got you raw.
I've been sent more information on
got
the
you
Dacia
raw.
Sandero.
Excellent.
Great news.
What?
The Dacia...
I know what it is.
Got you fucking raw.
What?
The Dacia Sandero. It's delayed.
Oh, no.
After Dr. Octopus realizes that the world's leading experts in cyber robotics and radiation aren't him, but actually guys like Bruce Banner, he gets so offended that he smashes his AI assistant since he's tired of the public calling him a criminal and refusing to acknowledge his genius. But as we then see, his arms suddenly start moving on their own because a mysterious skull-like machine has hijacked his tech.
Now that was a
Feeling
bad
itself
decision. I should have
Brainiac
switched
wants to
out.
offer Akka place in galactic history in exchange for his cooperation. Meanwhile in Metropolis, Peter Parker is so broke that his identity was stolen, and then returned because the thief felt bad for him. To which Clark Kent offers him a lift to SDAR Labs to investigate a radioactive theft. Once they arrive, they find out that the stolen material wasn't just tech but actual kryptonite. Where then they both ditch their civilian clothes to suit up and go after the thief who left behind Dr. Octopus's signature claw marks. As the duo flies through the city, Superman suddenly feels a massive surge of K radiation being broadcast on a data band, which is actually a mind virus Brainiac is using to dump massive amounts of raw data into every human brain in Metropolis, because the signal is so strong.
I know.
It's causing citizens to have seizures and even making Superman fall from the sky, since the radiation is specifically tuned to weaken him while overloading everyone else. Spider-Man has to do the heavy lifting by saving bystanders from crashing trucks and burning buildings.
I fucked up.
He's too weak to even stand, to which Peter notes that even Superman's breath smells like sandalwood while he's literally carrying him, realizing that Ock has found a partner who traffics in raw data. Superman manages to fly up and away to get out of the signal's range so
I had the right choice here.
lab, where then he finds a glowing green Dr. Octopus waiting for him, stating he's actually happy to have Superman there as a test subject. After Dr. Octopus realizes that the world's leading experts in cyber robotics...
Hi, I'm Video Games. Here's some shit that happened this week that I didn't report on. Artemis 2 launched as the second mission of 6 to create a base on the moon this week. And while this is an incredible achievement, the first issue that I saw the team of astronauts had was trouble with Outlook not functioning. It's legitimately the scene from Space Force in real life.
Seriously, auto-updating now? General, I won't be able to calculate the right data for the satellite for 49 minutes. Fuck Microsoft!
We're at the peak of technological achievements right now. You can
I know, this is a shitty shit.
But one constant persists. Microsoft Outlook still...
What was my first job?
Yes.
I'm still a bit rusty and, you know, find my...
What was my first job?
Yes.
Babysitting, I guess.
Well, I worked at a dog bakery when I was 15, but you already know.
They
that. We've
baked
talked about
dogs?
That's awful. We'll talk about it later. What was my first job? Yes. Babysitting, I guess. Well, I worked at a dog bakery when I was 15, but you already know. They baked dogs? That's awful. We'll talk about it later. What was my first job? Yes. Babysitting, I guess. Well, I worked at a dog bakery when I was 15, but you already know. They baked dogs? That's awful. We'll talk about it later. What was my first job? Yes.
You know, Bounce had such small PP that I had to struggle.
Well, I worked
That's
at a
so
dog bakery when I
stupid.
was 15, but you already know. They baked dogs? That's awful. We'll talk about it later. What was my first job? Yes. Babysitting, I guess. Well, I worked at a dog bakery when I was 15, but you already know. They baked dogs? That's awful. We'll talk about it later. What was my first job? Yes. Babysitting, I guess. Well, I worked at a dog bakery when I was 15, but you already know. They baked dogs? That's awful. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
What was my
This
first
is
job?
weird. See?
Babysitting, I guess.
You
Well, I
have a
worked at a
chance
dog
here.
bakery when I was 15, but you already know. They baked dogs? That's awful. We'll talk about it later. What was my first?
I'm still a bit rusty and, finding my way with this car, but I'm confident we'll get
A rope-a-dope at Silverstone, a demolition derby here in Hungary. You've been banned from casinos. Are you trying to get banned from F1, take the whole team down with you?
Tell you what, Don, what do you say we make a bet? Your 10 pounds against my 10 grand. We place a Monza, I win your 10. We don't, you win mine. Let's do this, man. Put your money where your mouth is.
What the hell? I'll take that.
Hey, no more press.
No, sorry, you don't want to make the media your enemy, and you'll be fined.
Take it out of my paycheck.
We don't pay you enough.
You know, I have to say, I kind of like it. It's very sort of punk rock for the brand.
Like, fucking.
How long's he been in there?
God.
Day, playing with different tire pressures, ride heights.
Or his time?
He found half a second.
Give me the same setup as him.
I fucked up. No, I didn't have.
But I'm confident we'll
Just
A
didn't have.
rope-a-dope at Silverstone, a demolition derby here in Hungary. You've been banned from casinos. Are you trying to get banned from F1, take the whole team down with you?
Tell you what, Don, what do you say we make a bet? Your 10 pounds against my 10 grand. We place a Monza, I win your 10. We don't, you win mine. Let's do this, man. Put your money where your mouth is.
What the hell? I'll take that.
Thank you. Hey, no more press.
No, sorry, you don't want
I
to make
can't
the media your enemy, and you'll be fined.
Take it out of my paycheck.
We don't pay you enough.
What happened to you?
Sprained my arm so I can't go fishing. What happened to you?
Sprained my eye. Ah, forget it. Why do we always have to go fishing? Why can't Dad go with one of his friends?
Wait a minute. If we can get Dad to take some of his friends fishing, then we don't have to go.
You're right. Who are Dad's friends?
He doesn't have any.
Gotta get Dad a dude.
It's my friend Jimmy's dad. What don't you guys have in common? Like fishing, which I know you both love.
Not me. I can't do anything outdoorsy. Allergies.
Oh. Hey, all right, Dad. Didn't realize you had company. The guy comes into a chicken place and orders fish. He loves fish. You.
Ah, so you're White Fox, huh? Heard you like the new Nick Fury, but with an extra eye and a bunch more tails.
And you're Major Benjamin Grimm. Skin of stone, heart of gold. One of the best test pilots that ever lived.
Ah, shucks. Well, if this Rocky mug of mine could blush, you'd be making it happen.
Flattery won't win us this fight. But a little morale boost in the heat of battle never hurt anyone.
Ah, so you're White Fox, huh? Heard you.
Dark circles under eyes is something I see in clinic a lot, so what can cause them? Let's look at the facts. See, not only is the skin around your eyes some of the thinnest in the body, but it's also a highly vascular area, and so frequently if you get dark circles, it's because those blood vessels under the skin are becoming more visible. But why? Well, the blood vessels themselves could be swelling or dilating because of allergies like hay fever, a lack of sleep, or potentially persistent eye rubbing. The skin itself could also be affected directly, like in eczema where the inflammation produces a darkening, or there could be something about the skin which makes the blood vessels underneath more visible, such as in dehydration where it's sunken, or in iron deficiency where it's more pale. Some people may also be hardwired to have thinner skin there, and so it permanently looks like they have dark circles no matter what they do to the area. But before assuming it's that, it's worth being assessed by a suitable doctor. Because when it comes to your health, the internet is for ideas, but a diagnosis is from your doctor.
God damn it, man.
Dark circles
This
under
shit is
eyes is something
impossible.
I see in clinic a lot, so what can cause them? Let's look at the facts. See, not only is the skin around your eyes some of the thinnest in the body, but it's also a highly vascular area.
God
So
damn
frequently
it.
if you get dark circles, it's because those blood vessels under the skin are becoming more visible. But why? Well,
My daughter started a fight at school, and it's only a matter of time before the principal calls. So there's this boy, right? We'll call him Tyler, because that's his name. Anyway, he's out here running his mouth that his mom makes the best tacos in the world. And I've seen Sandra's lunches, so I can confirm, no she does not. I think she's from Indiana or something. So whatever you picture when you think Midwest tacos, it's worse than that. Anyway, my daughter overhears this kid, and she says, "Oh yeah, my dad cooks better than your mom." And everyone absolutely loses their freaking mind. I mean, I wasn't there, but I'm imagining they did. So Tyler says, "Oh yeah? Say it to my face." My daughter goes, "I just did. Square up, bud." And that's when she went to lunch to eat these French dip quesadillas. I got the recipe for you below. But do me a favor and keep it out of Sandra's hands. My daughter started a fight at school, and it's only a matter of time before the principal calls. So there's this boy, right? We'll call him Tyler, because that's his name. Anyway, he's out here running his mouth that his mom makes the best tacos in the world. And I've seen Sandra's lunches, so I can confirm, no she does not. I think she's from Indiana or something. So whatever you picture when you think Midwest tacos, it's worse than that. Anyway, my daughter overhears this kid, and she says, "Oh yeah? My dad cooks better than your mom." And everyone absolutely loses their freaking mind. I mean, I wasn't there, but I'm imagining they did. So Tyler says, "Oh yeah? Say it to my face." My daughter goes, "I just did. Square up, bud." And that's when she went to lunch to eat these French dip quesadillas. I got the recipe for you below. But do me
Nico Rosberg is second. He takes the championship 34 years after his father. It's like father, it's like son for the Rosbergs.
With 23 wins and a world title in his pocket, Rosberg retired. Job done.
Nico Rosberg is second. He takes the championship 34 years after his father. It's like father, it's like son for the Rosbergs.
With 23 wins and a world title in his pocket, Rosberg retired. Job done.
Nico Rosberg is second. He takes the championship 34 years after his father. It's like father, it's like son for the Rosbergs.
With 23 wins and a world title in his pocket, Rosberg retired. Job done.
Nico Rosberg is second. He takes the championship 34 years after his father. It's like father, it's like son for the Rosbergs.
With 23 wins and a world title in his pocket, Rosberg retired. Job done.
Nico Rosberg is second. He takes the championship 34 years after his father. It's like father, it's like son for the Rosbergs.
With 23 wins and a world title in his pocket, Rosberg retired. Job done.
Nico Rosberg is second. He takes the championship 34 years after his father. It's like father, it's like son for the Rosbergs.
With 23 wins and a world title in his pocket, Rosberg retired. Job done.
Nico Rosberg Rosberg is second. He takes the championship 34 years after his father. It's like father, it's like son for the Rosbergs.
With 23 wins and a world title in his pocket, Rosberg retired. Job done.
Nico Rosberg is second. He takes the championship 34 years after his father. It's like father, it's like son for the Rosbergs.
With 23 wins and a world title in his pocket, Rosberg retired. Job done.
Nico Rosberg is second. He takes the championship 34 years.
Hey Italy, what's new with you? So we have a big problem with Netflix, and we're gonna make them pay Italians 500 euros per subscriber. That's a lot of money, I don't agree with that. Okay, that is huge, but what is the story? You know Netflix raised their prices again last week, right? Netflix, did you? Yeah, we had to. But did you tell us the reason why you had to? Nope, we didn't. See, that's the issue. They raised their prices 5 times since 2017, and they're not telling us why. But Italy, why do I even have to tell you why? Because we have a law here called Consumer Code, which means that companies must be fair and transparent with their customers. And if you increase your prices, you gotta tell them why. Wow, so Netflix broke the law then. Exactly, and a court here made a huge decision. They said that the price increases were illegal. Illegal? Yeah, and that you broke the consumer protection law. You have to give premium users who've been subscribed from 2017 till 2026 500 euros each, and 250 euros for standard users. Oh, that's a big refund. Yeah, that's a lot. Italy, you have a lot of people. Seriously, Netflix, those people have been overpaying for years. So you have to give them the money. So Netflix, you're gonna pay. Well, we said that we don't agree with that and that we're gonna appeal this decision.
I'm just gonna give it up.
Like, we don't care. You broke the law. We care about our consumers here. No, Italy, I love what you're doing. Massive respect. Hey Italy, what's new with you?
Let's
So we
get
have a
this
big
fucked,
problem
dude.
with Netflix, and we're gonna make them pay Italians 500 euros per subscriber. That's a lot of money. I don't agree with that. Okay, that is huge, but what is the story? You know Netflix raised their prices again last week, right? Netflix, did you? Yeah, we had to. But did you tell us the reason why you had to? Nope, we didn't. See, that's the issue. They raised their prices 5 times.
You're never gonna be Pope, Michael. Get used to it. I'm the Pope, and I'm gonna remain Pope till the day I die, because I'm curious to see how it all turns out.
You don't believe in God.
What did you say?
I said you don't believe in God. I was 50 years old myself once, you know. I had my own crisis of faith. Like all priests, second calling is more challenging and more fraught than the first. You no longer have to deal with the enthusiasm of youth. Now you must grapple with disenchantment and the limitations of the rational. You don't believe in God, but that shouldn't upset you. Even though you are Pope, there's still another path that will allow you to find the people and things you're looking for, even if you can't see it now, because all you can see before you now.
Drove my Mercedes down to the track this morning, and genuinely the most extraordinary thing happened. It didn't catch fire. Now, James, you came down in your Fiat Panda, did you not?
Yes.
Did that catch fire?
Let me just think. No.
Richard, the hire car you came down in.
Yes.
Did that burst into
No. Why are you in a hire car?
Porsche have told me I'm not allowed to drive my brand new GT3.
Oh, is this because, as we mentioned briefly last week, Porsche GT3s have been bursting into flames?
You both know full well that it is.
Well, that means you have no use of those oven gloves, which I bought you last week.
Yeah, my Porsche driving gloves.
It's okay, Hammond, because I have got you another present. No, Hammond, it's a 911 tailored specifically for you. Look at
Oh, you are literally
It's to
the
remind
most amusing man in the whole world. He is.
Even I'm.
Oh, no! Oh, God, no!
I've got an oven glove.
Put it out as fast as possible.
It's all right. I hate you.
Drove my Mercedes down to the track this morning, and genuinely the most extraordinary thing happened. It didn't catch fire. Now, James, you came down in your